Yes, guys. Yes, people. Welcome back to another live stream. Welcome back to another video. Welcome to another 24 hours into the Haaland versus Chelsea transfer saga. A roller coaster ride that we all just really want to get off, but we're here for the long run. So strap up and get involved, guys. Pick up everyone that's locked in. We've got over 100 you guys already in here. So smash the like and subscribe button if you guys haven't done so already. We are a few days away from Chelsea's first pre-season friendly. I think a game against Morecambe, I think, has been announced for the next Morecambe or Peterborough, some team.
Peterborough.
Is it Peterborough?
Yeah.
Yes, some team in the Championship. But yeah, we got a friendly sorted for Saturday. Not going to be televised. We're probably not going to see the replays of it. It's going to be like the QPR friendly a few years ago. But at least Chelsea will probably get a win in it. Big up everyone who's locked in. Smash the like and subscribe button. We're going to chat about Chiesa. We're going to chat about Erling Haaland. Talk about Tammy Abraham and any other transfer rumours that we have heard over the last few days. But first off, I want to go to you, Jesters, because you were on Worldwide Chelsea stream yesterday. And apparently some big news regarding Erling Haaland was released on there. Of course, guys, if you haven't seen it as well, check out Worldwide Chelsea. You guys already know on YouTube, Twitter, all social media websites as well. Sadiq's my guy as well. So I hope the rumors are correct too, because he's put his neck out on the line for this one. And you know exactly what Twitter's like. If these rumors don't come out as true, they're going to be on his neck. But Jesters, chat to me. What did you hear on the stream yesterday, bro?
Well, who's got the echo?
Zanako.
I hear that. Yeah.
So
Hello.
Okay, yeah, we got it.
All right. Yeah, it's gone.
So I wasn't actually on the stream. I was in the chat when the stream was going on. And I work late at night for you all. Not really late at night for the U.S. So basically, here's the information. You can take and do with it what you will. He's put it out, but if you want the latest breaking news on Haaland, Worldwide Chelsea is the place to go. They are the only ones that have this information. I think he said there's only 10 people that have access to this information, and they're in that 10 people. So it does. Now, I don't have the source's name. I don't have the source. This information comes from a tier 1 journalist. Okay, so don't ask me because I don't know. So the first thing we know that came out in the news is that Roman has released 150 million pounds for the bid. Okay, so that's number one piece of information everybody knows. It came out.
Yeah, we see that one come out.
Okay, well, usually when things like that come out, it's after stuff has already happened, right? It's the 150 million was released before that, but they're now just talking about it. It was probably done sometime in the last week of the Euros. So the second piece of information that you would have seen is that Alfie Haaland landed in Germany with Erling. He didn't go to training alone, and he missed his medical. Yeah. What I am told, or what Sadiq reported, is that they had a meeting with the Dortmund board and said if a good bid comes in, they want Dortmund to accept it because they want out. Okay? So that's the second piece of information that you need to know. The third piece of information you need to know is the bid is going to be submitted, which means it hasn't already been submitted, because until the actual structure of the deal is worked out, they will not submit an official bid, which means they can agree on the amount, but then they have to sit down and say, okay, well, what's the upfront money? What's the payout? Because it's not going to be 150 total. It's going to be 130 plus 20, which has also been reported. The 130 million, which is double his release clause, plus 20 million pounds on add-ons. So they might say, okay, we're going to give you 65, which would be his release clause next year up front. And the remaining 65 and whatever the escalators are will be annuitized over 4 years. So that's the information.
So 65 million up front, and the rest to be paid in installments.
Now that's not anybody else's information. That is my guess on what they'll go with, because Dortmund would get the 65 million next year anyway, because a release clause has to be paid in total, I believe. I don't think you can annuitize a release clause. It has to be the money up front. I think that's how it works. So
yeah, it makes sense.
it would be a lump sum. It would be what they would get this year, instead of getting it next year, which and then, of course, they still have the Haaland situation they have to resolve. And so that would lead them to sign Haaland. And I think in the meantime, while all the ins and outs are being worked on, that you would see Tammy leave.
So what we've seen is he's gone back to training. He's gone back with Alfie Haaland, and he's basically told them that if they get an offer around 150 million, they want them to accept because they want to leave.
Yeah, that's what we're hearing, or Sadiq's hearing. I shouldn't say we're.
Very interesting. Okay, so that means Erling Haaland wants to move a lot more than we expected. Obviously, we knew that he was interested if we did make the move, but now he's literally gone up to Dortmund and is indirectly handing in a transfer request. It's not doing it in the official way, but he's basically saying, if you get the bid that you want, accept it, because I'd rather make the step up. With that in mind, do you think losing Jadon Sancho is a big reason for this?
Yeah,
because that's the first thing that I'm thinking, because Sancho was pivotal to him getting the numbers that he did last season.
I think that that was part of it. The other part of it is they still have some financial issues because of they derive a lot of their money from butts in the seats, and it's been a year and a half since that's happened. And I guess they'll be out of quarantine by the beginning of the season, I think, for this upcoming Bundesliga year. But you still use, I think that's what I saw. But a year and a half without any revenue that you count on. And if you look last year, they actually spent more than they sold. And the last big player that they sold to us is Christian Pulisic.
And Jester, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think with the Sancho deal, they didn't quite get what they were expecting, at least up front, from United. So they're still looking for funds as well.
And I say that because the Sancho deal has not been formalized, as in the contracts are not. He hasn't been announced. So until he is announced, I can't say that's a deal that's been done. But yeah, they didn't get the money up front they wanted for Sancho. They didn't get the money they wanted for Sancho, and they lost a lot of money from last year on the Sancho deal. And they don't. And so the board, which again, 51% represent the fans, they can't afford to turn down a deal like that, because that keeps them flush with cash and be able to rebuild an aging squad, which it is for the most part an aging squad. They have some young talent in it, but if you look at Royce, Thorgan, Hazard, Brandt's a little bit older. Then you've got Hummels and Whistle and Delaney and Berkey. So there's a lot of older players in that squad that they need to replace with the youth. So they need the money to buy, and they're not buying. I think Haaland's 30 million euro, and that's going to be a top one of the more expensive signings they'll do. So they can use that money to bring in a lot of pieces for the future and rebuild.
So the way you're looking at it is like the typical thing Dortmund do, where they build up a team, they sell it off, they break it down, and then they go and rebuild another younger team. So we've just seen basically the end of another cycle with this Dortmund side.
Right. And as far as if it's reliable information, that's something you're going to have to go watch Sadiq's last video on Worldwide Chels and figure out for yourself. I can't tell you what to believe because they're not going to show you the DM with the person's name on it, because if the source found that out, they would never use them again. It's not how it works. So
Yeah, you can only release things in stages. You can't really release the whole thing. Otherwise, it's bait to the sources, and then the source loses legitimacy with the players that they've got the links from anyway. So I get that. Big up CID Shadow saying he was asked if he's leaving Dortmund. He said nothing, which is a sign that he also isn't committing to Dortmund. A man, a few words. I didn't really want to take much from that press conference anyway, because it's literally one of those where if you say something, unless you outright commit to Dortmund, people are going to look into it and try and come up with their own assumptions anyway. He just didn't say anything. We know that there is some interest. We've known from the start that there was some interest, and then he was interested in the project at Chelsea. It was just that he was waiting to see if Chelsea made a bid. Now he's trying to push forward with it a bit more, and he's telling Dortmund if you get the right bid, which it looks like it's going to happen now, seeing as Roman Abramovich has released the funds for it. Now we know that there's a potential chance for it. He's now going to say even less about it, especially because if he starts pushing it, Dortmund are probably going to start to hold back a little bit more because they're still going to want this to be done respectfully as well. And I think that's what Haaland's trying to do.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's like if he did have that meeting with his dad and that's what they said, like, hey, if an offer comes in around this amount, we want to go. That's them being polite, saying, like, don't make me be a dick about this. Like, if you get this amount of money, take it. Because if you don't take it, it might get a little salty for you. Yeah, you might meet Mino and not my dad.
Yeah, you like dealing with Alfie Haaland. You don't like dealing with Mino. So just deal with Alfie and be good.
Yeah, and then it's the same thing Rice has done, right? It's been reported that he wants to know about any legitimate bids that come in for him. So it's one of those informal transfer requests, right?
The difference is, though, Rice is also low-key trying to push for a better contract at West Ham, too.
Yeah.
Haaland looks like he just wants out.
Yeah, he just wants out because he doesn't... I mean, well, there's still some good young talent on there in Gio Reyna. You still have Brandt there. You still have Thorgan Hazard, although they're trying to move some of those pieces on because they need the money. So,
just doesn't make any sense for him to stay at that club right now when he could make a step forward in his career and come to the Champions of Europe and really make a name for himself on the world, national, international stage. Like, I think he did his part for Dortmund. He was a really, really good for them. He's going to earn them a lot of money. Like, for him, it's time to take that next step in his career.
Yep.
Yeah, and it makes more sense for Dortmund as well because they're going to get double the fee that they would get next year for him.
Yep.
That's what we already knew from the start.
Well, I'm saying Brandt because the manager likes Brandt. The new manager likes Brandt. Reportedly. So.
Who, the new Dortmund manager?
Yeah.
Oh, thank God. I thought you said Tuchel for a second.
No.
He likes him too, probably.
No, I mean, I'm sure he would use him. I mean, but no, he's not at that level.
But he just failed the Bayern test when they wanted him. And if Bayern don't want you, there's usually a reason why. So I'm personally good, but go on.
That probably leads you into your next one with the Chiesa thing. I'm guessing the contact was made because the way our club works, which is they're going to try to secure a backup plan in case, something happens. I said 95%. That means 5% something can blow up, okay? I didn't say 100%. So understand that we saw what happened with Willian. He was supposed to be a Spurs player until the last moment. So anything in football can happen. So that's why nobody comes out and goes, I'm 100% positive. And because when people do that, they get run off Twitter or run off YouTube because everybody likes to troll a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Chiesa, they probably said, what would be your price for Chiesa with 100 million work? And Juve's probably said no. And the reason he's a Juve player, just so everybody understands, is he is on a 2-year loan with an obligation to buy.
For 40.
Which means for all intents and purposes, he's a Juve player because after the 2-year loan spell comes up, they have to buy him.
Yeah.
Is there already a fixed fee in there?
Yeah, it's 40 mil.
40 is the obligation.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. That's at least a
Hey, Lewis, it's 40 as an obligation with an additional 10 million in add-ons.
That's it.
Sorry, I
That's
read
an
that this morning.
amazing deal.
These Italian clubs are cheapskates.
It's because of who he played for. He was Fiorentina's best player, but Fiorentina weren't in the best situation.
Yeah.
So, as soon as he wanted to leave, because of course you're going to want to leave for Juve, like they can't do anything.
Yeah.
They can't do anything about it, so they just get the best deal possible. And last year, he was one of Juve's most important players.
And that's also why we had the links with Griezmann, because he would also likely be a backup plan on a loan.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Griezmann looks more likely to return back to Atletico with his tail tucked between his legs.
That's possible. I mean, Barcelona had to sell so they can register new players. So,
But I think what I read that Griezmann, like you said, would have been a loan for us. So I don't know if Barca might be forced into having to loan him somewhere based off his wages and all that stuff this
They're
season.
they're still going to have to pay his wages though, because no one's going to pay 800k plus a week, though, are they?
no,
No, absolutely not.
They would have to pay a significant portion of that.
Yeah,
That's what happens when you pay high transfer valuations, put people on such a high wages. That's what you end up with, and that's why there's a wage structure at Chelsea. And no, the Haaland deal will not blow up the wage structure. Okay,
Now, 350k compared to Kante on 290 is fine.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and
Because he should be able to justify it anyways.
a lot of these sales are being done to remove wages from the wage bill. So because it's not how it's divided between the players. There's probably a cap number. They don't want to go over a certain weekly output for wages.
Right.
And to move some of these contracts on, that would not only give you some money from the transfer fee, but it gets the wages off the bill.
Yeah, I know he's not a first team player, but it sounds like Ike Ugbo is about to go to Genk or Gank, however you say it.
I think Trevor Chalobah is even meant to be going to a championship club or back to France as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think they said that's supposed to get Ugbo is supposed to be done in the next week or so. And then I did read about in regards to Tammy that he prefers to go to West Ham. He wants to stay in London, and then West Ham, I guess, are pretty keen on him as well. So if they can come up with a fee that meets around our evaluation, I think it's a good chance that Tammy could go to West Ham this season.
Yeah, ex-West Ham United employee reported that. He said Tammy Abraham is said to be keen on a move to West Ham. He's friends with Declan Rice and other members of our squad, and he also wants to stay in London. David Moyes, a fan of Tammy Abraham, likes him a lot, and a move is expected for him within the next few weeks.
Yeah,
I want to say it makes more sense for him to go one way and Declan Rice the other, but one of the main talking points is how close he is with Rice. So it would make sense for them both to make the swap.
Exactly. Like, Tammy would see that offer and just go, no. Because we've already spoke about it in the past with, swap deals, or not swap deals, with players included, they have to agree to the move. And if he sees that one of his friends, that one of the reasons him going to West Ham is suddenly leaving to go back the opposite way, that makes it less enticing for him.
Yeah, and again, Rice is not going anywhere because you're not going to sell your captain going into a Europa League season. You're just not going to. That's not something that clubs do unless you break the bank for them.
He's in a similar situation to Kane, to be honest with you, where neither one of them really have a ton of pulling power as far as leaving. They're both under long-term deals. They're both captains of their team. Spurs are in no position to have to sell Kane, which is why I think he, for the most part, will stay at Spurs this summer.
Yeah, and there's no reason for West Ham to sell Declan Rice unless an offer comes in that, like Erling Haaland, that blows their socks off. Then they might go, okay, well, we can't turn down that kind of money. So,
Well, Haaland for 120, 150 million is definitely worth it. Declan Rice for 80 million that's just out, completely out the water into space or something. That's just way too much for Declan Rice. Declan Rice is a good midfielder, but he's not nothing special.
Yeah, Haaland pushing like this also makes me feel a lot more confident in it too. Him going and actually having this one-on-one meeting, and it seems like he's been the one that's pushed for this meeting too. It makes me feel a lot more confident that the transfer can happen in the next few weeks. That and Roman releasing the funds, but if Roman has released the funds, then the question just is, when is the bid being made?
Right, and they won't do that until the structure is negotiated. Official
they
bids
won't.
don't
Yeah.
get put in. Official bids do not get put in until all the structure is in place, and then the official bid goes in, because then they know that the club's not going to go, no, we don't want that.
Yeah.
Bertram asking what meeting. We were talking about this earlier and saying that Alfie and Erling Haaland have had a meeting with Borussia Dortmund just yesterday, where they've asked Dortmund to accept a bid from Chelsea if the bid is good enough for them. So it's a matter of time now for when Chelsea release a serious bid. Big up Mo Welly with the donation as well, saying I'd rather have Phillips and Declan Rice. Haaland's agent wants 40 million euros plus 150 million for Borussia Dortmund plus 290k a week weekly wages. Is it worth it? Are we getting white? There's a lot of questions here. First off, I would rather have Phillips and Declan Rice.
I agree.
Yes, but Phillips is also more of a driver, whereas we're looking for someone to sit. So
He can sit, though. He sits for Leeds.
he can
And
sit, but he's more naturally a driver.
The problem
All
is-
I've seen from the Euros, he's the one that pushes the ball forward.
Yeah, but
in
that's in the system he's in. If you notice under Bielsa, who's a much better coach tactically than Southgate, he sits and they play a possession system, so he'd be going from one possession system to another possession system. That's
It
why that
depend-
would be so much better.
Oof, yeah,
It-
fair
it-
enough.
It depends
I'll
on the
run
game
with
though.
that.
Sometimes with Leeds, because you can see, because they do this man marking thing, and it can sometimes mean that players do continue pressing, so they don't really always sit. But you're right, Scott, and he does sit most of the time for Leeds.
Yeah, he Phillips to me looks like the English Kessie. That's who he reminds me of as a player, if you will.
English Cassie.
Kessie. Yeah, Frank Yannick Kessie.
Yeah.
By the way, on an unrelated Chelsea news, Messi has apparently agreed to sign a 5-year deal and take a 50% pay cut.
Yeah, saw that.
Damn,
Still needs-
man's
still needs
really
to be the
bending
highest
over
earner.
backwards for Barca. So play for another club,
Yeah.
man.
They don't.
Solidify your legacy. What are you doing?
What were
They-
his wages at before he
So-
was?
He's just over $1 million, like 1.1 million or something a week. So he'll probably go to around 600K a week.
So he's going to be there. He's only going to be their second highest earner.
No,
He'll be right behind
I
Griezmann.
think more people will definitely take cuts. If Messi's taking cuts, there's no. It puts pressure on everybody else, to be honest.
yeah. And-
No,
and-
they'll just get rid of players. Like they'll just end up getting rid of players because
Either that, yeah.
there's players on there that need pay cuts that you can't get them to take a pay cut now. Like Frankie De Jong should not be on 400k a week, but you can't ask him to take a pay cut now.
Fucking
was-
players like
I'm
Ansu
fairly
Fati,
sure-
Gerard Piqué,
Piqué's not on that
Coutinho.
much. Like I'm
Jordi
fairly
Alba.
sure. I'm fairly sure De Jong was their best midfielder last year. I could be, apart from Pedri, but in terms of central midfielder, you can't ask him to be taking a pay cut.
I don't think they will.
No.
The young
What else does Mo
looks
Welly
like he's
say?
earned it.
It is how it is.
I'll answer the white one because we're not getting Ben White. I'm just going to leave that one there. No chance. Haaland's agent wants 40 million euros plus 150 million for Dortmund plus 290k a week weekly wages. Is it worth it? If this guy stays for more than 3 years, yes, it is worth it.
And
My
I think
biggest worry is, does he last longer with us, or does he use us as a stepping stone and then progress on to a Bayern Munich or go to a Real Madrid afterwards? That would be my biggest worry, but it's also speculation. Like, we ain't going to know about that now. If Roman's
Lewis,
disinvested in it and the board are disinvested in it and we're going to put the money up front for it, fuck it. I don't mind about the 1 year where he needs to adjust to Premier League football. My biggest worry is how rival fans are going to deal with it and how Chelsea fans are going to deal with it as well if he doesn't hit the numbers immediately that people expect. But long term, he is going to be an amazing striker for us. Like, there's no question about that. The question is only about the short term. So I think it will be worth it depending on how long he stays.
Just to add to your
Yeah.
point as well, there, like the people forget, there's also resale value here. So it's not like you just pay this money and like you can never make money on this guy. You pay this money and you are more than likely going to make quite a significant amount of it back when selling him later on if he wants to leave.
I'll say it does depend on when he leaves and how many years are on his contract if he tries to leave.
Yeah. So
Like, let's say that happens when there's 2 years left, and good chance we might not make that profit. If it's
I'm
4
not
years or
necessarily
3
claiming
years,
profit,
yeah, go
though.
for it.
does anybody know how
sorry,
much
go
you
ahead.
make for winning the Champions League?
And
Is it 60? Is it 60?
100 million euros, that thing?
I think
No,
it
it's
was,
got 100.
Is it 60? I feel like I've heard 60 before, but I'm not for sure on that.
90 million euros.
No, altogether, if you go through the whole thing, so I think
Oh,
it
the
comes
whole
out to be
thing?
100,
Altogether.
23.2 million.
150
No, that's
no,
just
that's
for
the
winning the
final.
final.
Like that's what you get for
Okay.
the final.
So for
But there's still
each
the rounds
round,
before that.
right?
So there's like each amount. There's an amount each time you play a game as well. There's an
Yeah.
amount.
It
in the game.
is. We will have earned. I found a website that's calculated it all, but it's in dollars. I don't know what the conversion rate would be. It's $96.2 million.
Cool.
So that's probably like 80
That's
something
like
euros.
around 80 million euros
Yeah.
or maybe.
Yeah. I think that 40 million on the agent fees is a little bit of cap as well too. I don't think you'll see that amount. It'll be high, maybe 20 split between Alfie and Raiola, but if it gets you on the good side of Raiola, that's not a bad thing, to be honest with you.
Yeah. So again, if you put hardware in the trophy cabinet with Haaland, he pays for himself because you win money. You get money for every title or cup you win. You get advertised. You expand the fan base because everybody knows. Yeah, everybody knows that people like to be bandwagon supporters. So when things start going good, you get more supporters because they jump on the bandwagon. So it's just a win-win situation. So it's an investment. Just look at it as, did you complain when you bought a house or a car? No, it's an investment. Did you complain if you have student loans? No, it's an investment in yourself. I know some of that's foreign to some of y'all, but these are investments you do as a business to grow your business and to increase revenue. So just look at it as they're making a £150 million investment into this club. If you look at it that way, you wouldn't mind if they put £150 million into Stamford Bridge, would you? We wouldn't be having this conversation. Be like, oh yeah, they're improving things. It's the same thing.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Oh, that Stamford Bridge is a completely different conversation because I have some certain thoughts about the new Stamford Bridge, but it is what it is.
I was going to say about Haaland, like saying, oh, he might use us as a stepping stone, but maybe people might have thought the same with Eden Hazard, like to go to Real Madrid because everybody knew Real Madrid's dream of a to play for him, but
his mentality.
I was going to say about Haaland, he could come to Chelsea, and I'm betting we'll be winning league titles and stuff with Haaland, like as a goal scorer. I think he'd end up loving it at Chelsea. Like Eden Hazard, he probably will move, but I don't think it'd be like 3 years. I think it'd be 5 at least.
Yeah, plus you'll make your money back so easily because of the merchandising. You're gonna make he'll be the highest shirt sale easily,
Yeah.
You'll make it back through.
I know, but we always have this talk about shirt sales, but how much do the club receive from shirt sales?
Oh no, I'm not saying that's gonna make a massive difference.
It's not just the shirt sales though. I think what Scott is trying to say though is how the whole brand at Chelsea.
I imagine in Norway will become the biggest, the most recognised team, just because he's Norway's golden boy. It's the fact of as Chris said, we're gonna win things with him in the team. If we don't, it's what the fuck are we doing? So you're gonna get prize money on top of that. It's then when we sell him, it's easily going to be over 200 million, probably close to 250 million. That's a 100 million profit on the transfer fee alone. If you take it all into account, that's still 50 million profit. We'll make, even if he only stays here for 3 years, you can make so much money in from him that it balances everything for what you spend for him.
It also does make a great statement to the rest of the league as well.
Yeah.
That'll be the biggest transfer in Premier League history.
There's United.
There's
a United fan on Twitter saying we have to do everything in our power to stop Chelsea from getting Haaland.
What are they gonna do?
No, they're scared of the fact of what our team would look like with Erling Haaland at the number 9.
If we get Erling Haaland, we're going to wreak havoc on this country. I promise you that. If we get Erling Haaland, it's going to be a bad day for the Premier League because your boys
It's
at Man
over
City
for
are going to be
We send them.
hoping Jack
We send them
Grealish turns
to
out.
their basement,
We-
or rotten basement.
Yeah, we buy Haaland. It's over for the Premier League. I think it's over for him.
It will
Look
be.
at
The only
Man
ones,
City.
the only ones to go
Like,
compete
the
with
one
us,
thing
I
I will
think,
say,
Man City.
everyone settle down as well because he will have to adjust initially too.
Do you know what the thing is though?
I don't want to
But-
just jump in and say we're fucking
I-
winning everything. We got Erling Haaland, and then we do these
But
back-
Lewis,
Lewis,
we
you
got.
know-
But
Lewis,
here's the
can
thing,
we-
Lewis. Here's the thing. We got Kai Havertz, we got Werner, we got Pulisic, we got Mason Mount. We got all these players who came last season, who's adjusted for 1 year, and then you add a Haaland,
and
who's
all
obviously
of
going to
the-
be with a new squad.
I know that, but we got gassed about all of them last season, and they all had to adjust, and they all had horrendous conversion rate. I'm not
That's
going to say
because there's
Haaland's
7
going to.
players.
I'm not going to say Haaland's going to have horrendous conversion rate. But I've already said he's going to initially struggle with low blocks. He will adapt to it, and he will get better, but he'll definitely struggle with it at the start. That's why I'm
He's
not
a-
getting too
See,
gassed about it
do you
initially.
know why I'm-
It's going to be an
you know-
amazing transfer for us once he adapts.
I
Once
think
he
he'll be a
adapts.
low block. I think he'll be a low block bully. Like defenders
I
aren't
don't-
going to.
I'm not too sure. Like, he has the build for it. Once he adapts to playing against it so regularly, definitely. But you don't play that regularly in the Bundesliga.
What?
Well,
So
I-
at the
I-
start, he's
I
going
hundred-
to struggle.
Yeah,
There's a
no, I
combination
100%
video.
agree. But this dude has got a nasty streak in him too.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's not like he's just. It's not like he's a Morata or whatever, where he's going to let defenders just sit on and hang on him. No, he's a nasty guy. Like he'll
Yeah.
make sure if you want to put a defender on him, that defender's going to work for 90+ minutes,
Yeah,
and he's
there's
not going to like it.
There's a compilation video out.
I know, but like, so did Drogba. That didn't make him prolific.
Yeah, there's a compilation video out with one of the. Somebody got an echo again.
Fucking hell, really? I can't hear a single echo. It
So-
might be me. Once.
Yeah,
Hello.
no,
Hello?
it's
Hello?
done now. It's done now.
Gone.
No, it isn't.
So it was Lewis.
It's
But
something-
one day it's the mic. One day it's the fucking mouse that don't work. The next is the mic that don't work. I can't be
So-
bothered.
There's a compilation video, and one of the main stars of that video is Kurt Zuma.
Mhm.
Remember, we did play RB Salzburg against Erling Haaland. I don't know if it was a preseason match.
That was when Pedro scored that amazing back.
Yeah, 2019-20. Yeah, I remember that.
And he made Kurt Zuma look like a fool. He bodied him. So, and you would think that Kurt Zuma is a very strong man. As far as, we can talk about his footwork and everything else, but he's built. He's stacked. So
Different breed.
he's not a lightweight. He runs 35 kilometers an hour. So he's fast. He's strong. Left foot, right foot. Probably needs a little bit more polish with his heading. But he's like Alfie, or he's Alfie 2.0. I don't know if anybody got to see Alfie play at all or seen any videos. But I
No.
watched both of a compilation video with Alfie in it, and it's just like a carbon copy with some upgrades of Alfie. So he's a traditional number 9, just like everybody was saying. Well, Lukaku's a traditional number 9. This guy's a traditional number 9. He'll do everything that you want from him, and he is mean. He does have that nasty streak.
He
I
literally
guess-
shushed a Sevilla keeper, didn't he? And then the players chased him, and it got disallowed, didn't
Yeah,
it?
that's because the
That's
keeper
the
did
type
the
of
same
player
thing
he
to him.
Yeah, it's because the keeper wanted to chat shit while he's trying to take a pen.
Yeah.
But that's
And he-
because when
he just
he
shushed
missed the
him.
penalty. So when the penalty had to be retaken, he missed it because the keeper came off his line. And then when he missed it, the keeper went up to him and did the same thing he did after the second penalty. That's why he did the same thing to the keeper. Because
Yeah.
the keeper went
Yeah.
up to him and just went, rah,
But the goal
rah,
got
rah.
taken away, didn't it? The goal got taken away, right?
No. So it
No,
was a penalty.
he missed.
He missed the first penalty. His keeper went up to
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
and,
But
like,
when he
that.
scored past the Sevilla keeper, though, he shushed him.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
the man had a
He didn't get
hat
taken off.
trick in a game. He had a hat trick. Okay, he already scored 3 goals, and they took him off
Yeah.
the pitch, and he was mad at the coach because he could have got 4 or 5. That's the kind of person you want as your striker.
Have you seen? There was a game. It was they played against Cologne. I think they drew. I can't remember what the game was. He was pissed when he left that field. Bro, they
The
drew
one where a
games.
player asked for his shirt and he just gave it to him in a pissed off way and just walked
I
off.
think so, or either that, or he literally just walked straight down the tunnel and just like would not like shake hands or anything. He was fucked, and all they done was draw a game.
Yeah,
I know it's a U23
Yeah,
international.
Dortmund's defense were clowns that season. I wouldn't be surprised if he came off a few games pissed off.
I know it's a U23 game, but the man scored 9 goals in one game. Like that is an insane amount of goals to score in one game, regardless of the competition.
His ability. I'm just saying there is going to be an adjustment period and be prepared for it.
Yeah, 1 week he'll find an apartment.
He'll come in. He will bang goals in his first season. It's just I don't think he's banging Dortmund goals at the start. Wait till second season for that. As long as everyone's going to be patient for that, then there's no real problem. It's just if everyone goes in with the same mindset when we sign Werner, like we're winning everything, he's scoring 50 goals a season and all of that. It's like, simmer down, guys, simmer down.
Well, you guys are full.
He's a good long-term investment for us. Good. Now let's deal with the season as it goes.
You guys will have full stadiums next year, right? Over in the UK.
Yeah.
To start the season. So once he gets a taste of that energy at the bridge,
back like they've been doing all year, but we'll find out.
Say standing.
Yeah. When he gets a little taste of that energy from the bridge, it's going to be fun to watch.
The bridge better turn up then, because if it's the same old Stamford Bridge from before,
that is a problem sometimes. Yeah.
So I hope we have a decent Erling Haaland chant ready for him. I swear down, if all I hear is "Oh, Erling Haaland," there'll be a fucking man. I know that'll be our first chant as well. Just wait.
Timo's got a good chant.
I'll bring white ball. I'll be sitting in that lovely block 9. I'll be sitting that front row, going trying to Timo. Yeah, Timo.
Fucking fatter with his whiteboard, bro. I can't be arsed.
You should put a rope around it and put it around your neck, and you can write on it like this.
Oh, you're right.
Stand up. There you go.
I'm saying he scored 41 again, but probably 25. That's a good point as well, to be honest. Even if his numbers do dip, it will probably still be mad numbers compared to the strikers that we've had over the last 5 6 years.
25 is the at least that Haaland can do. Like,
but if
25 would probably be the best goal-scoring season we've seen from a striker since Didier Drogba in 2010, which even shows the levels.
Wait. What about Diego Costa?
Diego had like 20 or 21 in his first year.
I swear Diego got like 25 plus 4.
Nah, he never really turned up for more than half a season.
Hamstring injury, Chris.
Too many hamstring injuries, man.
Yeah.
Plus, as well, someone mentioned it earlier. You don't have to worry about him scoring in the Champions League because you know he can do that.
He's done that.
The Champions League, I'm not worried about, but the Champions League can be more open in itself. Teams usually come out and fight you a lot more in the Champions League.
My prediction for him is you'll be surprised of what he can do without an adjustment period. Because
I think there's a chance
he is different sauce from everybody else. He really is. So I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised about how fast he adjusts to the physical play, to the speed. It's just because he's done it to every level he's gone to.
Do you know how much I'd love to be on a stream here in like 4 months and be like, "Ha! I was worried about this guy. Fucking idiot." I hope so. I will happily stand on here with like a clown nose and everything and say I'm a fucking idiot. But I want to see it first.
Yeah.
I've been hurt by too many strikers.
Are you just not confident in it, Lewis? Oh.
No, I'm confident in Haaland succeeding. I'm just saying he needs an adjustment period, and I'm not going to get gassed and lose my head like I did when it was Werner last year. I'm going to let him come in, let him adjust, and then he'll ball out. I just don't think he'll be immediate.
Lewis, don't you think, though, like the fact that we now have a manager that seems much more assured of, 1, his philosophy, 2, the plays that he has, and 3, actually wants the player, don't you think all of those factors will be much more, and it will enable basically Haaland to actually hit the ground running, rather than in the past when we have had managers that I think sometimes will say they want a player, not fully understand the type of player they're signing, and then use them wrong in a formation because they just think you can fit them in and get goals, but then are not playing to the player's strengths.
Yes and no. Like, I think Tuchel will definitely help with the adjustment period. There's no reason for me not to believe that. But it still doesn't take away from the fact that he will need to adjust to Premier League football, and it's completely different to the Bundesliga. That's not going to change anything. If anything, it will make the adjustment period quicker, but it still doesn't take away from the fact that he'll need to do that.
I hear. I think like you being cautious, there's nothing really wrong with it. I just don't know
Yeah,
why.
I'm not outright against this. I'm not saying don't get Haaland. Like, obviously,
No.
I will put my hands up and say my number one choice was Lukaku because I do think he would hit the ground running more. But that still doesn't take away from the fact that Haaland would succeed with us. I have no doubt in my mind that he would succeed at Chelsea. I'm saying he might not hit the ground running. That's just it.
Plus,
But he'll
and I think
succeed.
we've seen with Dortmund in the Bundesliga, you give this man service, he'll score.
Yeah.
Like if problems arise, it'll probably be because we're not getting him service. That'll be what the biggest problem will be. We're not giving this guy
100%.
service.
100%. And I think also to add to that point, it's when it comes to our team, I'll be very honest, the biggest issue we have is just finishing. We're not really struggling on the department of creating chances. We're not really struggling in the department of being a team that is very good on the eye and actually can actually make teams come out as well. Because low block teams, as much as sometimes they do like to just sit deep, unless they're playing for a draw, there's no way that you're just going to sit low the whole time. We're going to wait for your moment where you're going to think there's a counter-attacking on, and we might have trapped you into this, and it's game over type of thing. And to me, we just need a striker that can finish that shit off. And actually, anytime we create chances, for me, the biggest thing is, like, and I was saying this about England in the final, and this is not to rub any wound on people's, like this is not to rub salt on anyone's wound, but to be honest with you, you score a goal and you sit back. I'm tired of that type of bullshit. You get what I mean? Like, don't defend the goal when you get that first goal. Go get another. This team is now shaken. Like, you have to do that type of shit. And I think with our team,
you want to be
we
like
need
a
to learn
City
to do
type.
the same.
England.
Huh?
England. Sorry, I got
You mean like how City used to like play like under Pep, like when it's very dangerous, like they kept going for more and more, even against
Exactly,
the big
because
teams.
you wanna instill that fear. At one point, Chelsea had the same type of fear on teams that we could out flipping muscle you, we could outplay you, we could do whatever the game required of us. Now it's just about we are ruthless. If we can get to a ruthless and sort of situation now with Tuchel, which I think we can, because I don't think we're struggling on the chance creation. That for me is always the key factor. Can we create chances? Then the issue that needs to be addressed is, can we score now? The biggest thing that Lewis is talking about that I am cautious about as well is the fee that's being talked about. When you sign a player to this much, I know how the English media is like, innit?
Yeah.
He could literally have one game where he misses a chance and they can create the biggest pressure out of nothing. And that's what the issue is. Because if he's English, he's protected. Harry Kane just had a fucking awful Euros, and look how he's being talked about. Barely any noise being made about his terrible performances.
Bro,
You get what I mean?
I've seen talk. Sorry to interrupt. I've seen talk where like people are saying if we'd have won the Euros, Harry Kane should be talked about for the Ballon d'Or. Fuck off!
Absolute madness.
This man literally just finished 7th with Tottenham, and you're talking about a Ballon d'Or.
Absolute
to
madness.
be
This
fair,
guy got knocked out by Dinamo Zagreb in the Europa League and hit the post twice.
the bookies
Like,
did have
no.
them pretty high
This
up
player
on the
did literally
Ballon
fuck
d'Or.
all in the final. Literally fuck all in the final, apart from scoring.
We're talking about Ballon d'Or shouts, man. Like, I know Erling Haaland has a great mentality, and I do think he'd be able to handle the media pressure, but I don't think he would have ever dealt with anything so strong before if he didn't hit the ground running, because they'd all be on his neck. And I do think that would have an impact on him at the start too, which is again why I'm saying he will have to adjust, but he'll get better. Regardless of me saying he needs to adjust, always take that with the account that after he adjusts, he will ball out in the Premier League, and I'm sure of that. I'm just saying you have to adjust first.
Just do it really slow. Just,
Have you just seen that? Like, have you seen some of the interviews he's done in recent times though? Like, this is where I do think this guy is not going to be really faced by media as much as other strikers have been. Like, Morata just had a weak mindset of as soon as the media said a lot of shit, he flipping struggled. He did the same in Serie A, same
He
in
was
Spain,
miserable,
and
weren't
same
he?
here.
Miserable,
You get what I
yeah.
mean? And sometimes it comes down to the mentality. It's like, how do you let the outside world affect you in moments that might be difficult? And I don't know about you guys, but when I look at Haaland, yeah, things are going well for him right now. So he has a reason to be, maybe arrogant or maybe like quite blunt in interviews and stuff. But I do think this character that and persona he's built right now is actually what's going to get him to the top because he doesn't seem phased.
Yeah,
I agree.
He's got ice water in his veins. So let me ask Lewis a question. So the two strikers we've really been linked with is Lukaku and Haaland.
Yeah.
If let's say either one of them came to us and had a bad game, who would get the most stick from the English press, Haaland or Lukaku?
They would both get bad ones.
That's the thing.
That.
Both of them would get stick.
Terrible.
Both of them would.
We've seen what happened to
He's dealt
Lukaku.
with shit from the English media for years.
Yeah.
It wouldn't make any difference with him.
The issue is...
I don't think anyone would get more than the other. Like, both would get stick.
Okay, well, the chat kind of agrees it'd be Lukaku.
Why? Because why?
Lukaku might get more, but I feel like they're saying more because it will probably be a race thing.
Oh, yeah, races, yeah.
I mean, I was trying to allude to that without saying it.
For real?
Well, we're all thinking the same thing. Don't worry.
Yeah,
so, I'm just trying to say it in a way that doesn't look kind of crappy, but...
No, I hear you.
I
think
think
you make a good point, though, to be fair.
So,
well, my only thing is, has Haaland received criticism from the media before? I haven't seen it.
How can
No.
you criticize? What are you
To be honest,
Exactly.
He's
He's been on an upward trajectory the entire time because he's gone to the right leagues. He's gone to Salzburg and he's gone to Borussia Dortmund. The Premier League would be the first one where I think he would stop for a second while he adjusts. And that's where he's going to get the criticism because he's going to come with that massive price tag. And then it's a question of how does he deal with it? Now, I know his mentality's strong, but it also hasn't been tested yet.
I think
that would be the first test.
I think he'd deal with it well. I do think he'd deal with it
So
well.
do I. So do I, but we also need to cross that bridge when we get to it.
And there will be down days. I mean, let's not think that he's gonna score every game. I hope that's not anybody's expectations.
Right. I mean, Chelsea will lose games. He will have games where he doesn't score. Like all that stuff will happen next year.
He didn't score every game in the Bundesliga, but there were
But
games that he put 3 or 4 in.
41 goals in 41 games or something similar to that.
Yeah.
We're all going to think he's going to come in and set the Premier League alight. And it's like, he will, but give him the time to adjust.
His worst period for Dortmund last year was 7 games without a goal, and those were all the games Sancho missed.
Yeah.
Because again, he wasn't getting the service. So like I said, if you give him the service, he'll score. The problems come when you don't give him the service.
Yep.
And we don't have a problem with the service. It's putting it in the back of the net.
100.
I think since Tuchel came in, we've created the most chances.
Yeah, see you later.
I mean, can you just imagine?
Take care, Chris.
Later, Chris. Can you just imagine Kai Havertz and Erling Haaland together, playing together? Like, come on, man. Like, there's no even in FIFA world, that would be an insane.
That's the hype that you're always gonna get anyway.
That would be amazing, and even
Kai Havertz. You saw the Euros he had. He had an incredible Euros. Just put him with his abilities next to a guy like Erling Haaland, and then you got Mason Mount behind them doing some.
You got Money Mason, the minerals next to them as well.
Come on, man. Like that's a disgusting team.
Yeah.
And if you want to add pace, then you put Werner in.
That's when it's scary.
Yep, that's it.
Werner could do really well once Erling Haaland's adapted next to him.
100%.
Because he needs to feed off a big striker next to him.
Yep.
And Haaland is a fantastic passer of the ball. He had 13 assists in the Bundesliga this year. He can really pass the ball. His link-up play is top-notch. So
wait, is that 13 assists just in the Bundesliga?
I believe. First, I think it was 41 goals, 13 assists. So probably 13 for the season. But regardless, like you put that next to Werner with his pace, and you have Haaland flicking balls to him. I mean, come on.
Oh, good Lord! I didn't see that.
You look like you just won a lottery ticket.
No, I did. This is awesome. You know that it was reported that Sevilla and Tottenham had come to an agreement.
I was going to bring that up later. Go through it.
Koundé rejected the deal.
Yeah, he said
no.
Did he?
He said no.
To be
I've
fair,
seen
though,
it.
the
Thank
deal-
God, I was
Would
about
you
to
go
question
sign?
this guy's mentality hard. I was like, how are you going to fucking Tottenham when we're interested? What's
I
wrong
will
with
say,
you?
Bruv,
I
like
will
he's
say,
got
to be
so much
fair,
good interest too.
considering that he was linked to City and Real Madrid last season for like 80 mil at least, them offering, what was it, 30 mil plus Davinson Sanchez, like,
Yeah.
and that being accepted, like, fair play to Tottenham. But then it got rejected, so.
He said no dead clubs, please.
Also,
Yannick Fjortov has also tweeted saying regarding Haaland, saying, hearing Chelsea have sent a big offer to Dortmund. Dortmund like the offer, wait and see. Dortmund likely to accept. Deal looks likely now. Abramovich desperate for this deal.
That was Jan.
Oh, no. Bates. Oh, fucking
also,
Bates.
in response
No! Bates. We got caught. Bates. Bates.
in response to what Josh said about
Fucking hell, man.
stats.
Guys, ignore me. Fuck's sake.
So
Yeah, fake. My bad.
Erling's
Also,
numbers last year was Bundesliga, 28 games, had
Yeah.
27 goals, 8 assists. Champions League, he played 8 games, 10 goals, 2 assists. And then the the 2 cup
the
games.
DFB Pokal.
And
To be fair, as well, like I said in the Bundesliga, just to interrupt, he went 7 games without scoring and still scored every game, basically. His goal ratio was almost exactly one every game, and he went 7 games without scoring.
Insane.
That means he does it multiple
Fuck, I'm getting ripped in the chat. My bad, guys. I didn't even click on the app. Fuck's sake, man.
That's how desperate.
This one's on me.
That's how desperate we are.
That's how desperate.
I'll hold this L. I'll hold it. See, this is me holding the L.
That's
I'll
how
take
desperate
it.
we are. Don't worry.
That's how desperate we are, Lewis. We're desperate for anything.
I thought we actually made some progress. I was like, yes, we're done with this fucking circle. We're actually making a move.
To the airport soon. We start people going to the airport soon.
Yeah, he's not gonna release any information until he goes on Fabrizio's podcast today.
And then he'll probably just give the same stuff that
yesterday.
No,
Two hours.
today they're doing a Twitch.
Twitch at 5 p.m.
But I think he'll probably just say the same shit he said the other day in his reporting about Chelsea are interested. There could be a bid. Like it'll probably be. I don't think it'll be anything new that we don't know already. But who knows? Maybe he does drop a bomb. Yeah, no, I think. Shit. What was I? Just lost my train of thought.
You know when we sign him, we don't need to talk about Haaland anymore. Let's just not talk about Haaland anymore.
I can't wait.
I just don't want
fucking
to
wait.
talk about it.
So
I'm at the point where I was at with Havertz, where I was just sick of his name last year. I was like, don't talk to me about him until he's done.
Now I understand what United fans went through with Fernandes and Sancho, where it's like every day you don't care.
Yeah, but that was years, Scott. Not just one window. That was like years.
No, that was 18 months for like each. That was 18 months of Fernandes, 18 months for Sancho, and it's like
we've only been dealing with this for 1 month.
Lewis,
can you imagine
apologizing, bro? There's too many people.
if we're
I'm
able
sorry
to
for
get this
raising
done,
any hopes.
if we're
Here's
able to
what
get this
it is.
done and City are forced to spend $100 million on a Jack Grealish, Pep will be crapping his khakis next season when Chelsea come to town.
no. If they get Grealish, that's an amazing signing for them because he slots straight into their team.
For 100 M's
they're not
though,
gonna
and
get Grealish unless they lose Bernardo Silva first.
I don't know. I just think it doesn't improve their team to where they need improvement at, because then they'll have to play De Bruyne as a false 9 again. Like
That worked though.
it worked to a certain extent, but then
Until
like
De Bruyne
Grealish
gets
is the
hurt.
guy. Grealish is a guy who's going to have to be on the ball quite a bit for them. And I don't know how that works in their sort of flowing play. He's a good player. It'll be a really good signing for them, but like I don't know how much it changes their dynamic.
When you think about it, though, that City team that was there that had Leroy Sané in it, and on that left side, I'll be very honest, I do think they have struggled because even Raheem being on that side, Raheem hasn't gotten the numbers that he's wanted or he's been expecting to get, and I think the team as a whole, I'll be very honest, aren't doing as well as they were supposed to. So this Jack Grealish links for me make more sense because they need a creative player. Because Leroy Sané, when he was having a good season, flipping hell, man, that link up between him and Raheem Sterling on the other side and the striker, it was mad. And I think City is more than likely considering trying to find a solution for that problem. Because let's be honest, Ferran Torres isn't someone they are expecting to necessarily hit the ground running every game or every situation that they put him in, and they're going to have to try and find solutions as best as they can. So
also, they're in a similar situation with what we are, but on the other side, where they've got too many people who prefer playing on the right.
Yeah.
So they've got Mahrez, Foden's better on the right. Torres mainly played on the right for Valencia and played on the right mostly when he started at City. They've only really got Sterling that can play on the left, and he was off last season. Very. They unless they play Jesus there, but then they haven't got a striker.
Abdi, that's a crazy question, Abdi.
Yes, I would as well.
Yeah, I was going to lead into that question as well because I'm seeing Ziyech trending on Twitter right now, and there's a lot of people saying if Chiesa was up for sale, they'd do a cash for Ziyech transfer. But Chiesa looks very unlikely to be happening anyway. They're in the middle of a 2-year loan spell that I don't think Chelsea can breach, and Juve ain't going to say no to signing him for 40 million on the cheap. Yeah. Even in that case, he isn't Juve's player yet. He's just guaranteed to be at the end of his loan spell. But until then, he's still a Fiorentina player. So I think it would be very unlikely to see this deal come out anyway.
And from what I saw, like I said earlier, bar Ronaldo, he was their most important player.
Yeah, definitely. Half the reason why Morata got as many goals as he did.
In the latter half of the season, when Ronaldo wasn't playing as much because Pirlo was benching him, Chiesa was the one stepping up. Wasn't Morata, wasn't, Kulusevski, it wasn't anyone else. It was Chiesa was the one stepping up.
Yeah. And he's going to be on fire from his
next season.
Euro performance.
That front three of Chiesa, Kulusevski, and Ronaldo, if that gets firing, fuck me.
Yeah, they could do something this year, especially with a better coach in Allegri. Lewis, I know you do the Shameless FC, and I don't know if Bavs or Egal's going to be on there, but Egal's
they should be.
Egal's on there Twitter today saying, "I told you that he would reject Spurs." Speaking of Koundé, can you remind him they lost to Hibernia, please?
Oh, you think that's not going to be one of the main topics of Shameless FC? Come on, man. Think I'm ever missing that sort of material?
Was it Hibernation they lost to?
Hibernation, yeah.
Hibernation, Hibernia, fucking...
I
don't even know any other slander names for them. If you guys know any other slander names, just drop it in the chat.
So you saw the howler from the Arsenal keeper in that Hibernia game, right?
Yeah. At least the good thing is, that will be the premiere episode or the
So let me link that for you. Last night in the Copa in the Gold Cup, their Granada played, and their keeper was once at Arsenal, and he also, their keeper from Granada was in the Arsenal youth system because he's an English-based player.
Oh, yes, he was.
And he had a howler as well. So, it runs through generations there that they just stink up the place. That's what I'm trying. It's a long connection.
Arsenalization. It's the way we always call it. Players go to Arsenal and their quality dips.
It's Abba's hair. That just sums it up. Aubameyang's hair.
Sums up.
Havertz making out with his dog. Oh, that's something you sent me on Twitter, was it?
That was Tavares, man.
What?
Oh shit, Javi wants a link. 1 second. Let me send it. Apparently their new signing was making out with their dog or some shit. I don't know.
Let's say
I said hi burner account.
I don't even want to go down.
Fucking Hydration FC. Can't be asked. Let me send you the link.
Edinburgh FC. Some club in Edinburgh.
What the fuck? Oh, yeah, that's mad. I don't even know if I want to click on the link just yet. But yeah, certain mans are yamming their dogs. It is what it is. That's
Yeah,
Well, he's
I
trying
know
to
what
get
you're
the,
talking
the
about.
taste
So
of
straight up
Arsenal
flipping
contract
now.
out of his
what
mouth.
the. Nah, I'm good, man.
Don't.
Don't
No
put it
more
in
showing
my
that.
I don't need
I'm
any more
good.
bleach in my eyes.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I am good, man. Myron, why are you sending me this shit? Oh my god.
Just don't.
Myron
Nah,
couldn't help himself
Dogs
in
are
it.
cute, but when they're yamming on gooners, they're not, bro. So, no.
Oh dear lord.
I said just Google Nuno Tavares dog.
Hibernation.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
It's like looking at a car accident to find out if anybody died.
You're not going to like what you see anyway.
Ah.
So wait,
Right,
are
so
we
let's
bidding for
just-
Chiesa?
No.
No, apparently we've
don't get my
acquired a
hopes up.
100 million bet.
No way.
A 100 million bid, but that's it. Right,
No,
so
I
I've
don't wanna see
Googled
this
Nuno
shit.
Tavares
I don't
dog.
want to see this shit. Why do I want to see
Come
this?
on.
Why are you doing this to us,
Why are you
Lewis?
doing this? Come
Lewis.
on.
He dropped the super chat.
No.
Like-
Myron, man.
He's put his good money into the channel. Like, well, I can't say no.
No.
Why the fuck? Sorry.
Lewis, you did it on purpose,
Lewis,
bro.
come on, man. You wouldn't put anything after someone dropped a super chat, surely. You know what I mean?
Myron dropped the super chat, man. It would be rude.
He dropped $2.
Myron, why, bro?
Give him his money back, Lewis.
Yeah, send it back.
I can't. YouTube don't send it to me until the end of next month.
No. Myron, I'm gonna send you my cash app, bro. You've damaged me, bro.
don't,
Trauma.
please, please.
Bro,
Bro.
Lewis, if I send you
Bro,
a super
I'm
chat
looking-
of a
I've just
picture
looked at a
of
couple of
nasty
pictures.
stuff, you're gonna
bro,
do
this
that?
guy's fully letting his
I
dog
don't know. You
go.
gotta drop a super chat first.
If I drop
As long as
a
it's not
super
something that'll
chat,
get me
the chat not
demonetized,
gonna
I'm all
wanna see
good.
it.
Josh, blessed for jumping on anyway,
All
my
right,
guy.
boys.
Love.
Have a good one, guys.
See ya.
Take it, Josh.
Love it, people.
But yeah, Nuno Tavares is moving mad.
He's just trying to get the taste of that Arsenal contract out of his mouth.
Yeah.
Or when he had to kiss the badge in his photo or some shit.
Yeah.
Did Absolute Chelsea report any news for today?
Yeah.
It's only for the Bournemouth game.
Bournemouth. We're gonna play Bournemouth.
Oh, fuck off, Rob. We're really playing Bournemouth again.
Seriously.
I mean,
Big
Why
up,
do we
Byron.
want to
Worth
go
it.
into the
We
season
take
with that
classic
energy?
Arsenal, love it.
Why do we want to go in that season with that energy? Playing Bournemouth. We don't want that energy.
Fuck that.
no. Play them, bruv. No. It's time we do this type of shit, bro. And let's go destroy them right now, bro.
No, knowing us, we'll lose 2-1 there or something, and we don't even have half our first team because they're all at the Euros.
Would it even matter? Because it's like a pre-season friendly. Destroying them wouldn't.
It's just
wouldn't do anything.
fuck Bournemouth.
I know.
I'm so sick of playing Bournemouth. We never win. The away end shit. I hate that club. This is just fuck
I
Bournemouth.
blame Bournemouth. They partly funded Liverpool's transfer spree.
Lewis,
Shit,
We've dropped one of
Do
the
you agree-
worst.
do you agree with this
Bournemouth is a nice away trip if you get them in the summer. We never get Bournemouth in the summer.
I was
Exactly.
We
just
get
about
them
to say
in
that as well.
January or February.
midweek as well. So it's not even.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
It's
was
midweek.
fucking freezing when we
Yeah,
lost 4-0 there.
Exactly.
Bro, I was sat next to the fucking cameraman. Like, honestly.
What, you had the cameraman blocking your view?
No, I was just next to him, and it was like I was stuck in a corner. So, like, if I wanted to look right, because you know when we're attacking from left to right, I had to lean forward because I couldn't fucking see anything.
Oh, well, to be honest, no one knows we were barely attacking that game anyway. At least you didn't miss too much.
What
Ball
happened,
attention
yo?
to see
Like
then.
seeing it live, like it was just a disaster. Because on TV, it was a disaster.
But I just couldn't believe
It
it
was
happened.
just defensive disaster classes in the second half. Luiz and Rudiger just stunk out the joint.
Oh yeah.
Bro,
I
it
remember
was.
that. Ugh,
We
that was
spent
disgusting.
the whole time because when I think Charlie Daniels got the fourth, like the Chelsea fans spent the whole time chanting, "Who the fuck are you at this guy?" Only for him to score against us.
Oh, yeah.
He came on the
I
pictures
remember
as
sitting
well.
there saying 3-0 ain't too bad. I've seen this loss last year at least. 4-0's the biggest loss I've seen in my life. And then they made it 4-0 a minute later. Right, here we go.
How the fuck are we provoking these guys? Just to score. Oh.
God knows, man. But fuck playing Bournemouth again. At least if we're trying to get rid of the judge, let's go for it. But at least you got better go and win then. Reported, no, there's going to be no Highlights of Chelsea v Peterborough. All right, that stinks, but we move. What else? Chelsea fear they could lose Lewis Bate and Tino Livramento. They need to re-sign a new contract. They gotta re-sign a new contract quickly.
I don't care
Because if
about
they
Bate,
don't
but I care about
re-sign in the next
Livramento.
month, then we should sell.
I care about Livramento. I don't care about Bate. He could leave, but Livramento will be a bad loss.
So
I care about Livramento, but he's got to re-sign a contract. Otherwise, we're gonna go for profit and sell him.
is Duan Sterling blocking his progress?
Apparently,
Not really. Neither of them are playing for us. Dujon Sterling has been on loan anyway.
For you. That's just for you, Andrew.
Oh.
Well, he likes him.
No. We're
What I'm
saying
is, you know what? When they were saying we're getting a kid,
Ryan,
oh,
one
it's
star.
going to block Livramento's progress. It's gonna,
so. When Duan Sterling doesn't block Livramento's progress, but Adama Traore would.
Yeah.
Of
The only
course.
one blocking his progress now is him because he's not signing a contract. So,
We just want to see the same energy.
yeah.
Now, for me, because Livramento needed a loan deal anyway. Like, both of them did.
That's
Neither
fine,
of them's had any professional football for Chelsea. Why do people want them integrated into the squad? Send them on loan.
It's mad. Yeah, it's mad.
the
Especially
obsession
if
with
we
the-
send
it's the
Billy
obsession with the
Gilmore
academy.
on loan as well.
Everyone just goes, oh, another academy player. Just throw him into the squad. Let's go. No.
That's what it is. I told you this before. It's a new obsession with the academy from 2019. That's what it is.
It's the new shiny toy.
Exactly. Why do we do
But
that?
we do have some
We do
quality players, though.
that.
We
That's
have
correct.
quality players, but they're all raw when they're coming from the academy into professional football.
And
they need to go out on loan and get game
I
time
think
there
we
first.
got to find middle ground. But it's like they go
Yeah.
on loan, and then they're like, okay, I'm not gonna get back in because we got another stellar Rich James or something.
But then
Because the only professional football they'll get every year is playing in the Johnson's Paint Trophy. That's the only, or whatever it's called now. It's called something different now. That's the only professional football they get, and that's what, like 5-6 games or 7 games, depending how far you get.
Yeah.
But if you look at other across Europe, other like B teams, they're all playing in leagues. Like Barcelona B were in the Segunda Division. They are quite low down, I think. Same with Real Madrid Castilla. The Young Ajax is in the 2nd division of Holland, as are a few of the other, like PSV's second team, I think, like their B team. But yeah, so they're all getting some sort of professional football. So when they make the step up into the main squad, it's not as big of a transition. For English football, that's not the same. You need that
I don't
time.
expect anyone to think any of these academy players will come straight from the academy into the first team and show any level of consistency over 15 games. There's no chance it would happen.
Yeah,
Can
that's
I-
unrealistic.
Maybe a game or two, you might be able to get a good performance out of them if the whole occasion doesn't get to their heads. But a run of games, no.
Can I just say, anyone in the comments who say we threw the academy in the Champions League, that is not. We threw 2 players who played really regularly into the first team. That is Reece James. That is 3 players: Reece James, Mason Mount, and Andreas Christensen.
Yeah.
They're the only academy products. And
And they all had
played,
loans.
Christensen
They didn't
played
come.
league games before that.
Christensen
So-
had
They all had
a
loans as
really
well.
good season at Gladbach
Yeah,
a couple
exactly.
years ago.
So we
He was there for
Reece
2
James
years.
was Player of the Year at Wigan, and
Yeah.
Mason Mount has had a season on loan in
Exactly.
Europe in Vitesse,
Exactly.
and then had a season on loan at Derby.
Exactly.
They weren't
So
just
we didn't
thrown in.
throw them
Tammy
straight
went on
in.
loan to Aston Villa,
Bristol City.
Swansea, and Bristol City.
The only one is
Fucking
Cho.
Billy
Cho's the only
Gilmore's
one
just gone on
that's going
loan.
Cho's
Yeah,
the
and to
only
be
one that's
honest,
going
Nadoy, I thought if
Yeah.
it wasn't for the Achilles injury, should have
Yeah.
gone on loan in Lampard's first season anyway.
Mhm.
But the thing is, as well, with Cho, it was a case of we had to bring him up because we needed another attacking option.
Yeah.
Like, there was no choice. We needed to bring him up.
Correct.
I also think
So-
we wouldn't have probably had a better chance of keeping him had we not brought him up too as well. So it's,
Oh, that's correct as well. But what
No,
I'm
no,
saying
he
is
was
we-
being brought up not because we needed an option. It was because his potential was that good.
Yeah.
He didn't just come in Sarri's season. Conte gave him a few games as well in his final season too. I remember the 3-0 game when we lost to Bournemouth at home. The only shining light was that we brought on Hudson-Odoi in the last 10-15 minutes and he looked promising. And that was it.
Everyone knows this. That we don't throw academy players right in
Yeah.
for a first.
You have
we
to
don't
manage it.
do that. We might put them in the squad and train with the squad, but we don't throw them straight in and let them let them try and swim. We build them up.
The only one I think we've done that for is Gilmore.
Yes,
Yeah,
but
that's the only one.
Lewis, those appearances have been sporadic. It's
Yeah.
not been maybe 1 or 2 games in a row, but it's not as if it's been 5 or 10 games in a row where he's played or anything like that.
And as well, like you were speaking about, Lewis, in terms of consistency, we've seen good and bad games from Gilmore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Christopher
Gilmore, he got that run of games as well. You've got to remember that it was injuries. We had like Jorginho suspended in that
I
period
remember
before
Leicester FA
lockdown.
Cup, he was terrible.
Kante was injured. Kovacic, I think, was out as well. I think our midfield three was Mount, Barkley, and Billy Gilmore.
Yes.
And we're going into games like Tottenham, Liverpool, Bayern Munich away with that midfield three. That's how fucked our injuries were at that point.
Yeah.
So to be fair, he wasn't having a lot of games before then. I think he played the 3rd round of the Cup. He came on against Sheffield United when we dropped that 2-0 lead at home, and that was about it. There weren't really much else from him.
We're not going to throw Livramento, Bate, and who's the other one?
Yeah. I think it was just those two.
Was it just those two? We're not going to, as soon as they sign the contract, we're not putting them in. Maybe Livramento, but we're not putting Lewis Bate into the first team.
Even
He's
going
probably going to go
across-
out on loan.
Even going across other big teams in England, there are very few instances where you just see youth players chucked in. The only one that comes to mind is Saka, because they absolutely had to play him.
Yeah.
Like, they had no choice because of how bad they were, and it's turned out to be brilliant. Like, Greenwood's another one, but again, it's similar to Hudson-Odoi, where his potential is so good. His potential is so up there, you couldn't really not.
No, we can't go.
No, it's only there's no away fans for those pre-season matches. It's bullshit.
Still not. Yep.
Arsenal got away with hearing champions of Europe in their away, and they've got another 2 weeks before they have to hear it.
Hey, Jamie, I'll fancy snacking in that home early though, if you want.
Hey, Batter, if you can sort out tickets, I'll buy one off you. I'm down. I'll go. I don't give a shit.
The only issue is you might be. I'm sorry, but you might
Yeah,
be
right,
recognized
what
by
you
people who
saying,
watch
G?
YouTube. That's all.
Yeah, sort out a ticket. I'll pay you for the ticket as well. We'll go. Light work.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, here's Terry just tweeted here. Sal Niguez to Liverpool is off.
Yeah. Swap deal.
Yeah.
Barca and Atletico Madrid for Griezmann.
Yeah,
him and
Barca and
Griezmann.
Atletico for Griezmann.
How is that possible? I don't know, but there we go.
Yeah,
Wait,
well,
so
Atletico's
Atletico's getting
Griezmann.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Swap deal.
Yeah, it's swap deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Swap.
What?
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
getting robbed. Barca's getting robbed.
No,
What?
Atletico are getting
Atletico's
robbed.
getting robbed.
What do you mean? Atletico are getting robbed.
Atletico's
Wait a minute.
getting
Wait a
robbed.
minute. So tell me what the deal is, just so that I understand here.
Griezmann for Saul.
Jamie, I might do, but it'll
That's
be a
it.
great vlog, so I'm down for it.
Bro.
Wait, that's the deal. Just the straight swap.
What do you mean
Yeah.
swap deal?
Atletico
I
are
don't have
getting
the details. I'm just
Nah,
reading
but
the tweet.
I like.
What?
Griezmann.
Terry
I don't know
Flew
why
has
you
said
love it.
this.
Yep.
Yeah.
One second, let me check it out.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
like
like Griezmann, man. I
Barca
don't
are getting a great deal, and then Atletico are getting
And taking
shot.
Griezmann's wages off their books.
Yeah, that's
I
how they're
think
signing
Griezmann's
Messi.
Yeah.
But
That's how
I
Messi
do
now
wonder though, how are those Atletico fans going to welcome flipping Griezmann back, bruv?
They're going to give him the #1 salute.
How did they
Yeah,
treat Morata?
wait,
How did they treat Morata?
Griezmann fans are going to be mad, though.
Yeah, one of those.
On my life, just as one line
Man
as a
said the
hella
number one
underrated.
salute, you know.
That's the #1
Hello.
salute.
Hello.
Hey, no, they'll boo the fuck out of him, but if he balls out within a month or two, they won't care.
How did they
They
treat
really
Morata?
won't,
Did they boo him all the time? Because obviously he's a Real Madrid striker.
Nah, they took him in with open arms, and he
Right.
just jumped. No, because he scored against Madrid in like his first
right.
game, and it was offside, but he tried
No,
to
they-
celebrate it.
They've done that with a few players because, like, Llorente played for Real Madrid before, and then he went there. Like, when it comes to coming from Real Madrid to Atletico Madrid, they're fine. The reason with Griezmann is because of how, like, you know what Rice is doing for us.
Yeah,
Imagine that
Expert
times
for
about
Barcelona,
100. Yeah, times about 100. But you know what? Have you heard what Neil said about what Chilwell did when he heard Chelsea were interested?
yeah.
So it's basically the same thing. He basically down tools and was like, meh.
Wait,
And like,
what did Chilwell
but
do?
he would give shit back to the fans.
Basically down tools apparently for a few months.
Yeah, as soon as he heard Chelsea were injured, he was like, I don't need to play now.
Still scored against us though, because goalkeeper.
And that was basically how it was for Griezmann. He kind of down tools, wasn't putting as much effort in, but would then give shit back to the fans for booing him. There was one game I remember watching, like this is back when La Liga was on Sky, where Athletic, I can't remember who they were playing, but they started giving him shit when he won a corner or something, and he turned around and started giving shit back to them.
See this guy begging for my Porto scarf. I know what you want, bro. I know exactly what you want. But yeah, well,
the pre-season games are they gonna be televised? Like not the Arsenal and Spurs ones, but the other ones. Are they gonna be televised? Or?
Arsenal Spurs ones will probably be televised somewhere. I don't know. Peterborough isn't. I don't know what pre-season games we're having in between that, but they're meant to be going to Dublin next week.
The 3 games in August, those ones I think televised. The other ones,
because that's going to be a charity.
It's gonna be like the QPR one when we had Loftus.
Well, you said charity, yeah. Because Spurs fans do need mental issues. So.
Yeah, it's for mental health. So they'll televise that because they'll want to get as much advertising dollars in for the charity and everything else. So those will be televised.
The Arsenal Spurs games or the other ones,
the Arsenal with Tottenham.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, makes sense.
It's what's the point of it if there's no fans being allowed? I mean, no rival fans.
What, for the friendlies or?
Yeah, so it's weak, man. It's not like we didn't literally just have near full capacity stadiums for the Euros weeks ago.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe it's the guide. Maybe it's just the guidance they get.
It's just the guidelines for the time being, innit?
Yeah.
What guidelines, man? They're not the same guidelines as the one before.
Oh, they're not 100%, bro.
Maybe you saw all the idiots on Sunday and said no way.
Like, I could even understand if you're trying to do that to stop people travelling around England, but it's in London. 2 of the teams are about 2 miles apart from each other.
Wait, is it QPR and who else?
They really do need but Tottenham really do need this charity. They do need the mental health help because they've been rejected by everybody.
Oh yeah,
it is rejection central out
They need
there.
to put Childline or something, bro. They need a therapist.
The trauma.
Yeah, but Jester, right? Jester, why did they even bother going for Koundé? Koundé's already told everyone he wants to play for a club in the Champions League. What was even the point? You wasted time. You wasted Koundé's time. But even trying to contact, you know what I mean?
I know.
No, I kind of rate it, to be fair, because it shows ambition. Because at least, and it shows they're trying to plug a hole. Because that's the one thing I'll say about Tottenham is all the people they're trying to go for at the minute, it's plugging holes in their team. And it shows intent.
I agree.
I kind of rate it. It'd be different. Because, for example, if they were going for players the level of, a Matt Doherty, for fuck's sake, then I'm like, what's the point?
What are you doing?
Well, they had that on the team already.
Well, but you know my point. If you're going for players of a mid-table or lower half of the table level, I'm like, what's the point? Do
you know what? The thing is as well. Why have they not? This is the problem with some clubs, isn't it? When you can see that your squad is not good enough, or is aging, or they're more likely to leave, why have you already not started to identify players that are going to be replacing these players so that you can start signing them on the cheap? It's so dumb.
Because they're Tottenham. That's the answer. They're Tottenham.
Because they only appointed their 13th choice manager in Nuno.
So the thing is, they were going to get him as manager at the start, and then went, "No, we'll look for someone better," just to end up at him after being rejected about 12 times.
Mad. I don't know about him, but I would have rejected that job just based on that reason, bruv. I'll be like, nah, fam. Don't need you lot.
And I would watch for Zuma going to Everton. I know they put a low ball bid in, but they're talking about Koulibaly. Koulibaly's going to cost way more than Zuma.
Wait, who's talking about Koulibaly?
Everton.
Wow, okay.
To be fair, I reckon that's a deal they can do, to be fair.
Well, again, Zuma's going to cost them a lot less than Koulibaly.
Probably, but I think with Koulibaly, you've got the fact Benitez has worked with him. He's 30, he's early 30s now at least.
31.
Yeah, they've got replacements. They've got that that Romani, I think they've got.
And Godfrey.
Godfrey and Holgate, yeah.
And I'm talking about Napoli. I'm talking about
Napoli. I'm sorry.
It's just dealing with De Laurentiis because they've got a couple of they've got Manolas, they've got Romani who played quite a bit last season.
Romani, who is it? Who's that guy, Romani?
He's a Kosovan international. Plays for him. Yeah, he's not obviously not on Koulibaly's level, but he's a lot younger, so he can develop. And so I think now's probably the best time for them to sell Koulibaly and still get a good fee for him. So it does actually make quite a bit of sense.
Yeah, I just think again it's going to cost more than Zuma. Wouldn't you think he'd cost more than Zuma?
Yeah,
At
yes.
25 million?
Probably just because of dealing with De Laurentiis more than anything. Like if you're dealing with someone sane, then there's a debate. But De Laurentiis is going to demand a bit.
He's
But I
going
still
to
think it's a good
demand
signing
around.
for them.
I reckon he's still going to demand about 70 million for it. So.
He can't. Like he just.
I know,
like,
but I just think he is. I just think he's that type of person.
But the thing is as well, the one thing I'd say that Everton backline, I know this is talking about Everton now, but one thing that Everton backline lacks is experience. And him being 31, and he's one of Napoli's, like, he's in their captain list. He's their third captain, I believe it is. So he's got that experience of being a leader, which is what they need.
Is Koulibaly still like good though? Because I heard about him a couple of years ago, but since then the hype hasn't.
He's 31.
Koulibaly? Oh no, we're not doing Koulibaly rumours again, are we?
No, to
not to
Everton.
us,
No,
I'm
no,
talking to
no.
Everton.
Oh, thank God! I'm so done with that. That's like the Haaland news times 10.
Man, like the Alexandros in that, man. Alexandros, the Alex Telles is in that, man. Always linked to Chelsea.
Yeah. So what? Koulibaly's linked to Everton.
Apparently.
Yes.
Yeah, because Benitez wants him because he worked with him when he was at Napoli.
No chance. No chance. This guy was dealing with the likes of Man City and Chelsea for years, got held back just to go to Everton at the end of it all. That's so anticlimactic. Although I would say his time has really passed with us bidding for them as well, so it does make a bit more sense if he takes a bit more of a step down.
Yeah.
That'd be such an amazing coup for them, though.
Bro,
It's about time they start building on some of the players that they buy, because they make amazing signings. They do nothing.
I know, like their window last season was amazing, like just amazing.
And then they still finish mid-table.
Yeah.
It's like they're just destined to finish 11th every year.
I think they're at the moment their time's come and gone.
Andrew said I heard Hulk's linked to Chelsea again. Don't, bro.
Wow.
That's the one. Everyone's got their one where they're like they want it to happen, or they hear a rumor and it's they get behind it. That was my one. Was Hulk? Was like
if you're not
I
Chelsea,
wanted
they
him at
always sign
Chelsea.
him on FIFA career mode.
Yeah,
They always sign him. They always sign him on career mode, and you go, why? Why did you sign him? Please.
That Hulk, man.
Hulk smash.
What other stuff did we hear from Absolute Chelsea? Let me go back on that.
Man.
Right, so Livramento and Lewis Bate needs to sign new deals. Chelsea have asked Juve about Chiesa, and Juve just hung up the phone on us. Ross Barkley and Ruben Loftus-Cheek are expected to leave Chelsea on loan or in permanent deals if buyers can be found. That would be
Not
really
RLC,
mad if Tuchel's
not
made a
RLC.
decision on them already, but I don't believe that. No, I don't believe that, because we're getting rid of 2 attacking 8s in the team when we're going to have more games than we did last season. It doesn't make sense. It makes
I think if
least
RLC can impress Tuchel, he'll stay. But Barkley, I think, will go.
I think Barkley's done.
But doesn't that stop the progress of Conor Gallagher?
Nah, Conor Gallagher needs another loan. I see what you're doing, bro.
No, I can't lie. I think I get it with Ross Barkley, but I think Tico will give Loftus-Cheek a bit of a chance. I think he likes Loftus-Cheek.
It's not even that for me. It's just a case of attitude. Like, I bring it up a lot.
Right, so
there's been instances of the past where Tuchel has fallen out with players and just stopped playing him, or taken his anger out in training on them because their attitude. The one I can remember is Emre Moore, who was meant to be like this next big wonder kid, and because he pissed off Tuchel in training, Tuchel made him do laps and do press ups while he shouted at him.
I like that. I like
Who did he do that to?
And bearing in mind that this kid was 18, 19, and he's
Wait,
doing
so
this.
Tuchel doesn't play that.
When he was
Tuchel's
at Dortmund, they signed this guy called Emre Moore, Turkish international. Well, not.
Oh yeah.
MOR. I think his last name was.
I like that because
he pissed him off in training
build.
because he refused to train or refused to train properly and put the effort in. So what he did was the story I read, he got him to do laps and then got him to do press ups while he shouted at him.
Do you know that comment right there? I don't care if Ross Barkley convinces him in training. Ross Barkley can't handle the pressure of playing for Chelsea. He can't mentally handle it. He had
Crystal Palace.
He had 6 good games in a row when he's been there. 6 good games in a row, and then that's it. He is so inconsistent.
You think that's
And
why
I
he's
just don't
missing?
All he had was in pre-season.
Do you know what the thing is? He
I don't
gets
care if he
away.
impresses Tuchel, man. I want him
Ross
gone.
Barkley gets
Want him
away
gone.
with far too
Andrew, you
much
think that's
stuff
what he brings?
outside of the football pitch, and
I
that's the
don't-
problem with him.
Yeah,
The guy
but
is not focused on football. The guy doesn't take football seriously like he's meant
Maybe,
to. And
but-
he was touted as a good player from a young age, and it fully gassed him up to the point that this guy thinks he's made it, and he's far too comfortable as a player. And he
Of course, he slept his way into a Chelsea contract because we were playing like we were hotboxing ourselves in the boardroom the whole of 2017.
Remember his
Might
purple
No, dear
patch
Lord,
under
that's
Sarri?
so
Remember his
bizarre.
purple patch under Sarri? And I think everyone thought, oh, maybe he's clicked, yeah?
Even
Maybe
the
he
purple
will
patch.
go on. Didn't happen. Same under Lampard. Didn't happen the first season. He
had a good
He can't
pre-season,
handle
though.
the pressure. He can't handle the
That was
pressure
about
playing
it.
for his club.
Remember in
No, but that's it. We call him pre-season Xavi for a reason because as soon as the season starts, he's horrendous.
Mm-hmm.
And he hasn't got.
I
the
remember
bottle to
coming
Hey,
do it.
out
put some
Lampard's
put some
first season,
respect
I was
on my name. Put some respect on my name. I'm better than Barkley.
Sorry, man. We'll call him pre-season Modric. Cool. We'll change that. You deserve that.
We'll go at it.
But yeah, he can't handle like whenever it gets hard. He's like a Morata, where it's like as soon as it gets a bit hard, he just hides. He can't handle it, and he starts like a tantrum in, throwing his toys at the pram.
Yeah.
Like you
Did you
see
saw
players that
when-
when it gets hard, like Luke Shaw, when it got hard for him, he put the effort in. Like he's not a football guy. If you listen to him speak in interviews, he's not a fan of football. It's just his job.
Yeah.
He genuinely is like he doesn't watch football outside of playing it.
Who,
Does
Barkley?
anybody else want
But he puts the effort
Barkley
in.
to play? Yeah. Does anybody else want to see Barkley play for Nigeria? I just think that'd be funny.
That would be the funniest thing I've seen.
It's one of the things I've wanted to see for a while. I can't lie. You have a better chance of getting him there than you would for England. I don't even know if he's had a cap for England in the last 4 years.
The amount of memes when Nigeria do the handshakes and that with the other team when they're just lining up. Oh my days! Just see, and then you just see
There's still time before the next Africa Cup of Nations. You might as well.
But I did read, and I don't know if it's true or not, that Callum is thinking about playing for Ghana
Yeah.
instead of England.
He'd be the main man.
He should.
Though, I thought.
He should.
So-
He
Would
should.
They love him there. They treat him like a king. He deserves it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
the only other
on the
thing is
left
that would
wing.
be another winger gone during the Africa Cup of Nations.
True.
We
I
don't play with
love
wingers.
Of course.
He wouldn't be Ghana's
I
main man. To be
expected
fair.
nothing less, man.
I'm just taking a piss.
I'd like to see him like be a main man in it because he's always had to
He'll
like.
be the star boy. The star boy. Star
Yeah,
boy.
like
I don't know if he will.
Under Sarri, under Lampard, like even under Tuchel at times, like it always feels like there's a bit of double standards, and he has to always work his way. So if he's like the main man, he'll be in the left wing. Everyone will love him out there. He'll be the main man. He'll probably get the ball the most, and yeah, I want to
It'll
see.
be like when John Obi Mikel played for Nigeria when he played like in a different role than he does for his club.
He was the number 10 for Nigeria, wasn't he?
Exactly, yeah.
Number
Exactly,
10.
yeah. Exactly.
He was
Defensive midfielder
running
for us,
shit.
number 10 for Nigeria. Very weird. Very weird.
I think he was naturally a number 10. He just played a lot deeper for us
Yeah.
because he
yeah.
could play there. Yeah, I think it was more selflessness from Mikel on that role, but that's why he's so endeared by Chelsea fans. That and the fact he barely ever fucking scored for us.
I got a question for you guys. Would you rather prime John Obi Mikel or prime Jorginho?
Jorginho.
Prime
What?
John Obi Mikel.
What kind of question is that?
Why is this question being
Mikel.
asked?
Ryan, don't trigger the fan base, you know.
Man said prime John Obi Mikel or prime Jorginho. Big respect to Mikel, but nah, this is hella disrespectful to Jorginho.
I got to ask a question. I don't know.
But they're two different roles, though.
I don't know what prime
Yeah, that's
John
the
Obi
thing.
Mikel looks like.
Yeah,
I've
neither do
watched
I.
Chelsea for years, so I don't know what he looks like, and that's not
'Cause he's always
that's
been
not a
consistent.
Depends
slight
on
at
what you
him.
call his prime,
That's
but
not a slight at
15,
him.
16, he had a big resurgence.
Yeah, that's
He was
true,
one of
but
our
I
best
don't
players
know-
second half
I
of the
don't know
season.
because I don't think we
Oh,
saw
you
the
use it.
best of John Obi Mikel. That's all. I don't think we ever saw the best of him. So
No, we definitely saw it in phases.
1911?
It's just he never had.
that's what I mean. Yeah, there was no like consistent 2-3 years where he's playing out of his skin, and that's because he was in
He's
that
good, bro.
team. So
Zero Cardi, 417, Newtown, Trey Club, Brown.
Oh, Chris LU 4,002, Trey Club, Toronto.
Okay. Oh, Trey.
Have I ever seen Mikel score? Yeah, man. Chelsea versus Sporting Lisbon, 2015.
Didn't he
Can
score
never
against
forget.
Fulham as
Chelsea
well?
versus PSG.
Didn't he score against Fulham as well?
Yeah,
Yeah,
his
he
first
did, yeah.
goal for Chelsea
Score
in
against
like
Sunderland?
7 years.
Wasn't it a banger as well?
Yeah.
His first league goal.
On the volley, half volley.
Yeah, that.
Oh, do you remember his assist for Diego Costa's second goal against Everton, 6-3?
Oh, I remember that.
Yes.
Yeah, he
Back
backflipped.
heel.
Yeah.
That was a glorious assist. That was a great game as well.
Yeah,
One of those ones I wish I went
Fair
to.
dues, he was awesome in the 2012 final. Very good in the 2012 final.
Let me see what. So we've gone through Ross Barkley and Loftus-Cheek expected to leave Chelsea. Again, I don't think it's both of them. I think one stays, one leaves. I'd rather it be Loftus-Cheek, but I can imagine Ross Barkley having amazing pre-season and Tuchel giving him a chance based off that, and us all being left to deal with him for a year.
I mean, they both go.
I don't see how Barkley fits in this system because he's not one of the two in the pivot, and I can't see him. His best position is as a 10, but we don't play with 10s.
Yeah, we don't play it. Yeah.
Yeah,
not conventional 10s anyway.
I actually don't think either one of them will stay. I think both of them will go.
Yeah, I can see that as well. Yeah.
I still think that we're going to do. I'm still hoping. Let me just say, I'm still hoping that we'll do Kamara and bring him in as the backup because he can play both the Conte role and the Jorginho role.
Is that Marquinhos? Marquinhos.
Well, he's like a younger Marquinhos.
Yeah, but his like energy and the way he can play centre back and DM, and then Tuchel scouted him since PSG. Since he was at PSG in it, so he'd probably be one of them players. And then because of the build-up play and the way Tuchel likes like the DM to drop into the centre back, then he'd probably do that better than Tchouaméni, because Tchouaméni is more of a box-to-box that can sit as well. So yeah, I want us to get Kamara or Tchouaméni, but I think Kamara would fit us a bit more.
Yeah, because Kamara could be also emergency center back as well.
Yeah.
He's everything that Declan Rice has, except he's cheaper.
Yeah.
And better.
And not English.
Graham saying Loftus-Cheek due the return of Sarri's son. How many man are we going to call Sarri's son?
Well, Sarri had a lot of wives, so.
Fair enough.
Hey.
What was it? Name any players other than Kirby. There's Millie Bright. There's Sam Kerr. There's
we just signed Lauren James.
Lauren James, of course. Can't forget Lauren James.
Pernell Harder.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's Jamie's favorite. The striker I'm missing. What's her name? The Canadian girl.
Isn't there the
Why is it going to be
Japanese or?
What's the Canadian girl's name?
Yeah. Why does it have to be a test there, Chelsea Ranger?
Orlando.
Did you say Beth England?
No, it's because Jamie goes to all the men's games and the women's games. He's got both season tickets. Oh yeah, geez, so young. How could I forget that free kick against Man City?
That's the one I
That
couldn't
was the
think
best
of.
part of the trip because we got battered 6-0
Not
in the men's
Japanese,
match.
Never mind.
What was that?
I thought she was Japanese. It's not. It's Korean. Never mind. It's me being an idiot.
Fair enough. What was that? Check. There was one other thing that popped up. Yes, that was it. Wayne Hennessy is expected to join Burnley amid Leeds and Chelsea.
That makes more sense.
Fuck out of here, wanker.
Lewis, Burnley, you
makes
say?
more sense.
Burnley, you say? Yeah. Interesting, Burnley.
Hey. I said it for you, Andrew.
Maybe in line with thoughts up there in Burnley.
What thoughts? He ain't got any thoughts. He don't even know what a Nazi salute is. The fucking Wallad.
Yeah.
He don't know shit.
What you don't know is that it was
That's not fair to
Wayne Hennessy in the airplane that flew over Burnley with the banner.
Wow.
Like really got that one.
No.
Mate, fuck's sake. Right, I'll search through the Reddit, see if there's any news on here.
which means
Here we
probably
are,
should be Pat
starving
Rinko.
transfer news. Regarding transfer news, no, that's nothing. No highlights,
you not-
Chelsea, Peterborough.
This is unrelated to transfer news.
Let's
but
go
have
with
you
the
guys-
let's go with the Haaland to Chelsea.
Yeah, there's nothing really other than the news jesters reported on Erling Haaland and Alfie Haaland having a meeting with.
Nah, we're
Borussia
waiting. We're
Dortmund.
waiting for the minerals to come. Where's the minerals, though?
What do you mean minerals?
You know, we wait for someone's minerals, isn't it? That.
Johnny's at work, G.
Oh shit, yeah. That's.
I'm
Yeah,
surprised
Johnny's
you
at work, man. Why do you think you don't usually see him on
got
weekdays?
Tesco's, barbers everywhere on the streams and that.
You got
Man,
what?
Dora the Explorer, Johnny, man. And remember when I was at the barbers? I was at Tesco. I was flipping Dora the
Yeah.
Explorer.
Wait, so Erling Haaland is now back for pre-season, right?
Yeah.
He's at the training ground training by himself.
Okay, so he's there, but he's not really with us. Okay, that's an even bigger indication that he's probably on his way out.
Listen, Dortmund.
Okay, listeners, I see what you're on now when you're saying it's a matter of when, not if. I haven't really been as sure about that, but now I feel invested enough for it.
Dortmund have said he's not. Dortmund have never said he's not for selling. Yeah, so the door's always open, and none of this there's no deadline anymore. So
No, I am saying Johnny's work outside Mount's flat with binoculars. Come on, man.
I ain't saying nothing.
I ain't saying nothing either.
Yeah, nobody say nothing because I don't want no more beef on this channel. We have way too much beef on this channel. I love Johnny. Big up him, my guy. Big up GoAM with the donation as well because he always brings some love.
Is the goat.
I think what's it called? I think with Haaland, yeah. I just feel like Roman just wants him too much for us to not get him in it, even if it's at a stupid price. Because Roman's just tapped like that. I just feel like just wants him too much for us to not get him. You know what I mean?
So then Dortmund going to sign Marlon now as well.
Yeah.
Well, they were. I think they're 5 million euros out off the valuation, and they were having a hard time coming up with 5 million euros.
That says a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So okay, what was reported was that Marlon is a Raiola client.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And it has been agreed upon in the past that when Haaland left, Marlon would be his replacement at Dortmund. It was a handshake agreement between Dortmund and Raiola.
They were also looking at his teammate Noni Madueke to replace Sancho, but they wanted 30 million for him as well. I think Dortmund only want to pay like 15, 20.
Yeah. So
imagine the money. Imagine the things Dortmund can do if we give them like 150 million pounds. Imagine maybe if they don't even use it on players, but Dortmund normally get a lot of gems on the cut prices.
Well, like I say, as we've mentioned, they're looking at Marlon. They're looking at Koulibaly, I know, in the past. That'd be two strikers or a guy that can play either on the wing or a striker. They could get another midfielder in that midfield, which I think they need just as like a backup because Chan I just don't think's it. Witsel and Delaney are good and Bellingham's come through, but that's only 3. Get another winger because I think they need another one because they don't have too many of those. They could get they probably need a right back because I don't think Mounier is going to be consistent. They could do so much with that.
Yeah, they
Bertram, I can't give you the source because the source is gone now. So can't give you the source.
It's also fully disappeared like that.
Yep.
He's already been baited out. Can't be asked.
Got run off Twitter. So
did we already discuss that cancer tappy? We did speak.
Yes, go AM. Go AM, you missed yesterday.
That is hard.
And go AM.
I love it, but that is brutal, Graham. I love your brutal.
Abraham.
I love it.
Tammy Abraham.
Yeah, we did speak on that Tammy Abraham seems a lot more interested in going to West Ham due to the fact that he has mates there like Declan Rice and a few other members in the squad that would allow him to integrate a lot easier into the team.
Wow.
And that he also wants to stay in London as well. David Moyes has said that he likes Tammy Abraham a lot and a move for him is expected within the next few weeks. but it obviously does have to be within the 40 million valuation that they have for Tammy Abraham. I still think this is the sort of transfer that you'll see get made later on into the transfer window, because I think the club can make a bidding war when it comes to Tammy, depending on how long they wait with this deal. But I also understand they're going to want to get rid of players off the books before they bring in Erling Haaland. The only thing is, Tammy's wages aren't really as big right now.
No.
The whole problem is that he hasn't got a contract extension. So I could see them wait out with him a little bit more, because there's still 40 million to be made from him if you wait for the right time to accept the bids.
Can I ask?
But yeah, that's just the news regarding
does
Tammy right now.
anyone think this goes into possible layout for a Rice transfer next season?
No.
Instead of this season? No?
Who's
No.
Can I ask as well?
Okay.
Can I just ask this question? Who's responsible for this name, Cancer Tappy? What the hell happened?
No.
No.
Go AM just hates Tammy Abraham.
They're just Go AM running agenda.
Yo,
honestly, he's very consistent.
Should we keep
He's very
Tappy going?
consistent with his hatred of Tammy. He's very consistent with his hatred of Tammy.
Did you speak about the Chiesa bid?
Yes.
Yeah, Chiesa's not coming.
It's not happening.
Yeah, Chiesa's not. It's not happening. He's a baller though. He's cold.
Oh, he is, but it's definitely not happening.
Yeah, it's not happening. So, gentlemen, I gotta bounce. I gotta get ready for work. Just one last thing on hate. The person that I just quoted is E.S. Grimes about the Malin thing, and she was bullied off Twitter. And I hope nobody here or in the chat were part of that, because before she left, she dropped the news that Varane would 100% be a Man United player, and that's looking more and more likely is going to happen. And everybody else was saying no, he's just using him as a contract negotiation tool with Real Madrid. So she was the first one that got that right. So, whatever your deal is with people, there's no reason to be everything that you would not like to happen to you. If you don't want to be bullied, don't bully anybody else, because what goes around comes around, man.
Damn right. It's the one thing I hate about. That's why I'm never going to be the first one to drop in the nose. Take care, Jester, as well. That's why I never really like doing in the nose and shit like that, because once you put your name in with that rumor, it has to go through. Otherwise, your legitimacy's in the mud and everyone's gunning for you and saying you don't know shit because you're just trying to be a shitty in the know. Big up Go AM saying preseason looking promising. Tappy curling Coke cans while Barkley is curling beer kegs.
Oh,
don't tell me you hate Tammy but you like Barkley, Go AM. Come on, man. Oh no, beer kegs. No, he's slandering Barkley as well. Okay, well, I'm half here for it then. Barkley's slander can be tolerated. I'll rock with that. Big up yourself anyway. But like we already said, Tammy Abraham, do you think this deal is going to be done in the next few weeks, or do you expect this to be done later towards the end of the transfer window?
I think it gets done on deadline day. I can't lie.
Deadline day?
End of the transfer window.
Yeah, it just feels like a deadline day transfer.
I think it'll be done later on, because I think like West Ham are going to want it. Like David Moyes is going to want to see how the team is preparing, like who leaves, if Yarmolenko leaves, or if like a Lanzini leaves or whatever. And say, because the transfer window still goes on during the first games of the season, doesn't it? Like it's still going on.
Yeah.
So if first couple of games they don't look brilliant going forward, then I can see him definitely like going for Tammy as like another option.
Yeah, I think what you'll see is it'll be after the season starts in the end, but Tammy won't play a single minute for us until his future's sorted. He won't play a single minute for us. One, because we're trying to unofficially sell him, and two, Tuchel doesn't rate him. Doesn't want him.
I'll be real. I don't think he plays another minute for us. Full stop.
That's what I mean. Yeah, he doesn't play any. Maybe if he stays, I'm not going to go that. But until the window is shut and we know what he's doing, Tuchel will not pick him again. He will not pick him again.
Yeah.
That's all. No, I probably won't pick him in the squad either, like he has been doing at the end of the season.
What, as in like the squad registration? You mean?
I don't. Maybe not that, but like in like the matchday squad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know what I mean, like that. It'd be interesting to see the squad numbers if even if before Haaland arrives, if he does,
That's
arrive,
Mount
You don't
the
need
eight.
to give Haaland the number 9.
I don't want. It's cursed, Lewis. It's cursed. I told you this.
You can give him
Just
some.
retire
You
it.
can give him something else.
Just retire it. Retire the
Save
number 9.
ourselves.
Get rid of it.
You think
Don't need it.
you think Mount's taking the 8?
Fucking hell. Graham saying Alonso will drive the team bus before Tappy starts the game for us.
That is wild.
No.
Oh my god.
That's so wild.
This stream is off the Richter scale. I
Go
swear
in.
down.
Go in. The goat of super chats. The goat. Of
Damn
meeting
right, the
super
goat of
chats.
super. Alonso
Meeting
driving the
super
team
chats.
bus. Man, protect AC.
Why doesn't he
man.
ever come on?
Okay.
I don't know.
That's
Like, I will happily throw Graham the
Probably
link.
for his
You
own
need to
safety
message me,
at
Instagram,
Chelsea.
Twitter, anything. Or you let me know what your at is, and I'll follow you back
You
in.
don't have to show your face, man. You don't have to show your face. It's fine.
And said,
But yeah, it says levels, and GoAM will agree with this. It says levels if Tammy's been our best number 9 in the last 10 years.
Oh,
I don't want that number 9 to go to anybody else. Just bin it. Give him. I was gonna say, Jotaro is saying Haaland should have 19. Like, well, we're gonna have a lot of debates on here if Haaland comes in and nicks the number 19. So
No,
let's not do
Haaland,
that.
yeah, no.
You can take
People
Giroud's
saying
18.
Haaland-
Yes, Joseph, you're on it. You're on it. Give him the 18. That can run.
Yeah.
Yo,
Or 23.
yeah, I think
Gilmore's
Mount is
number.
gonna
No,
take
not
8.
Gilmore's number.
Yeah, I think
but
Mount
no,
is gonna take
someone
the 8.
said as well, give him the 19 because Mount can take the 8.
No, don't give Mount the 8. Don't give Mount the 8. Please don't give him the 8.
Like, who else are you going to give it to? Who the
Don't
fuck
give him
else
the
are you
eight.
going to give it to? Ross Barkley again?
I know.
I can't lie.
no,
Mason Mount is built to take that 8.
Yeah,
that's
I'm not giving it to Ross Barkley again.
I think we should have done what we did for the 25 and the 26. I don't think anyone should have that number 8 shirt anymore. I just don't. It's our best ever player in my.
Has the
opinion.
number 26 shirt actually been retired though?
Unofficially.
Not officially. Remember, 20. No one's been 25 since Zola. No one has been 25
Yeah.
since Zola.
We
that's
haven't
since
officially
03.
retired any shirt
We
numbers.
we're not
but
like
no
we
one.
don't do it like the American sports, but no one's been 25 or 26 since. And I think the 8 is like that for me. The 8 should be like that as well. The 8 is our greatest. It's our highest ever goal scorer. So
I know, but if there's one person I think could have it, Money Mace. Because he has the longevity. I could see him being a one club player.
If you're giving the number to anyone, don't give it to Ross Barkley, man.
If he gets the number 8, he is gonna. You think people are criticizing him now? You watch if he gets that number 8.
I don't think it changes too much. Barkley ain't been criticised for years.
I think it does. It moves.
Barkley hasn't been criticised for years because he had Lampard's number. Neither did Oscar.
I think what it would do. I think it would.
No, but I've criticised him because he's shit, not because he has the number 8.
I think it'd be unfair to Mount to give him the number 8.
I also think it would escalate the other side of it, where you'd see so many comparisons to Lampard. You'd see it would be constant. He'd have a good game, and you just get.
Season? Why isn't he scoring?
Yeah, but I mean, he gets compared to Lampard
many.
anyway.
No, but it would increase. It would increase. It would definitely increase because you just get that picture, that image in your head of him wearing the 8 and all this. Like you just get it increased so much.
Listen, if he wants to take it, fine. If he wants to take it, more credit to him. I just think.
What I'm saying is, if you retired the number 8 now, you've retired it under Ross Barkley's name and not Lampard, so you might as well just run.
No,
with it.
you just
let Mason Mount ball out in that shirt number for 10 years, and we can retire it again.
Lewis, you're saying Christensen deserves to take the 26.
What was that?
No.
Nope.
Christensen deserves to take the 26.
Christensen for 26.
He's got the 4. Why would he need the 26?
Someone said it. I can't tell who in the chat said it, but that was a great opinion. Whoever said that.
No,
we call him the Viking John Terry for a reason. We might as well just go the full.
No one calls him that.
Only person that
We'll go the full 100 yards and just give him the number 26, man.
No one has ever called him the Viking John Terry. No one's ever.
Christensen 26 might be a great number, to be honest.
If Silva came younger, then maybe.
Can I go to the mega store and get that printed? One sec.
Oh no.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
If I go to the online mega store and I get the kit out, can I put it on the back of it now and just see it? That might actually be a sick idea. One sec. Let us know in the comment section. Christensen 26. What are you man saying?
Nah,
if I
I
can
think
personalize it.
if Silva came like 5 years younger, would you have gave it to him?
26.
5 years younger.
Yeah,
If
so
he
then
asked for
right.
it.
Would you think
If he
he'd be
asked for
worth
it, maybe.
taking it?
But
No,
I
he's
don't-
a 2. That's his
no.
legend icon number 2.
He's not 2 though, is he? Rudiger's 2.
What?
Who?
Silva.
Thiago
That's
No,
6.
I'm
yes.
Right? I can't spell your
No,
name.
I'm
That's
saying,
Silva's
but
number.
that's what he his jersey like if he was 5 years younger than 2.
Well,
No,
Kai
Silva's
asked-
number's always
Kai
been
asked for
3.
the 29, right? Kai asked for the 29.
Yeah, that's where he wears. Wears
Yeah.
3 for Brazil, innit?
Yo,
And
guys,
he
I'm
wore
out.
that for
Take care, yeah.
PSG. And I
Let's
think
calm it.
I could be
Bless.
wrong, but I think for AC Milan he used to wear 33.
Okay.
Yeah, Silver, he did, yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
So 3's always been his number. So can we bum the current number 3 off and give him
Was
the
he not
3?
2 at
Yeah, you might as well.
I'm cool with that.
Please, I'm fine with that. Yeah.
Marcus
I'm fine with
Alonso's
He was
on
not
number
2 at
3.
PSG? Who was 2 at PSG? That's why when he scored that
2
bullet header
was-
against us, he was wearing 2.
Who the fuck was 2?
Oh, what a shout.
that. What?
You name me
Is that
any
true?
other defender.
Oh,
No,
that's a
no, it's not
disgrace.
true, but that would be
That's not true,
amazing.
please. Oh, I thought that.
Yo,
Come
man,
on, what other player have we ever had with 100% passing accuracy at the club?
Oh my days. Man, like
Don't.
Baba Rahman.
Don't.
Come on, man. The Ghanaian Maldini, let's go.
My heart can't take this, man. If that was really true. Jesus, I can't take. Hang on. I need-
Yo, we need
sake.
Baba
That's
Rahman
not-
back in the side though.
Oh no!
You know, yeah, he's on near 100k a week wages. He needs to come in and
What?
contribute.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah, Baba
95
Rahman's
grand.
wages are big, isn't it?
It's nearly 100k. It's basically 100k a week.
Yeah, something like that.
I was wrong, by the way. Tiago Silva was number 2 for PSG.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it.
Kimpembe's the 3.
You know why? You know why I know that?
Yeah,
Scott?
Baba Rahman's
Because when
got
he scored that
91K
bullet
a
header
week.
again. No, that was Luis. But when he scored that header, that's all I remember. Too.
If he's getting 90k a week, man, Chelsea, bro, pay me like 5k on that.
15, 16, man. Every time we win the league, we just do nothing the year afterwards.
Is someone oiling a wheel?
that as well, Rob. What was that?
Or are they trying to feed a mouse? Because I don't know what's going on there, man.
It sounds like the squeakiest bike in history.
Yeah.
What was it? Abdi saying Chelsea understand position on Haaland, don't want to mess around with this deal. The opening bid will be the 150 million Dortmund are after, and the bid will be in the next coming days. I thought we were going to go for like a lower bid first, just to test the waters, but I think with the news that Jester said about Erling and Alfie Haaland speaking to Borussia Dortmund, it's kind of opening the door for Chelsea a lot more. Now the players showing intent, I think Dortmund have their backs against the wall, and they also know that they're not going to get a better offer for Erling Haaland than the offer we're going to give for them, especially next year. So I think with them, they've got things that they need to think about. But I think it's the case they don't want to sell Erling Haaland, but they also know now is probably the best time for them to sell Erling Haaland as well. So I'd be a lot more optimistic on him signing for us now, as opposed to before.
Yeah. Because they know he's leaving next summer. Well, he will leave next summer no matter what. This summer, you just heard it. They're struggling to pay for players. You know what I mean? They're struggling to reach for Marlon like a total of 30 million. They're struggling to do that. And remember, guys, they've never come out and said he's not for sale. That's it. If a club comes out and says he's not for sale, even sometimes you don't believe that, but they've never said that.
All they've said is they would prefer not.
Yeah, they prefer not to lose.
Bro,
him,
we
but
offer 150 mil, and they're gonna say no.
they're taking it. They're
Like,
taking it.
All they said is they wanted to sell Sancho, or they had an agreement that they would sell Sancho within this year,
Yeah.
and they would prefer not to sell Haaland.
This is all about the bid now. This is all about our bid. I believe everything's sorted from what I've read and heard.
They sell to us
It's all
for
about the
150
bid.
mil. They could upgrade like 4 positions with good quality.
Yeah,
players, or,
exactly.
Like 3 positions.
Exactly right. They're done for. They're set probably for the next 2 summers already. Do you know what I mean? So it's like until they'll sell whoever's next of the rank. You know, like Reino when he's ready to leave. Do you know what I mean? It's like that's what they do. They're a selling club. They do this all the time.
They should take Tammy, and when he becomes world class, then sell him. Right, Willian? When Tammy becomes world class at Dortmund, then they sell him a couple years later.
Yeah.
Probably. Tammy will probably want to come back to England at a certain point anyway. I see him just doing the Jadon Sancho route. Go there, get better, build your reputation, and come back and be seen as one of the best strikers in the league.
I actually feel like Tammy could do well in
I'm
Germany.
gonna go, yeah. Take care.
For some reason.
Right.
Take care, guys. Yeah.
Yeah, mate.
I feel like Tammy could do well in Germany for some reason.
Yeah, because it's an open league with a lot of space. He'd thrive there. He'd be amazing in the Bundesliga.
I think he'd need.
And I'm not even sugarcoating it. Like, he'd be a brilliant option there.
I don't know if he would. I feel he'd need the players to like get the service. Like, I don't think he wouldn't be one of these like Lewandowski types where I know Lewandowski's a 1 in a million player, but it's like he creates something from nothing.
Yeah.
Like even Haaland was doing that sometimes. I see him more like an Andre Silva where he had like Kostic was the one in that team for Frankfurt that was creating.
Tammy doesn't have that in his arsenal. Tammy doesn't have that in his arsenal.
Yeah. So he'd need the elite assister in the team for him.
I think he'd be decent to good. I don't think he'd be excellent.
He'd be decent. He wouldn't be pulling up trees.
No, exactly.
He'd be decent.
Decent to good. That's what he'd be. Because he has to work on a lot on his game. A lot. For him to be even on par with some of the players that play.
Sometimes I think he thinks he's better than he actually is.
Yeah.
I can't lie, man. In an open league.
Come on.
Can I be real? In an open league, Tammy is thriving. He is thriving, bro. Like the Bundesliga, you got man like Paco Alcacer and Batshuayi doing up a goal a game there, and you're telling me Tammy isn't going to survive.
I'm not saying he's not going to survive. I just don't think he'll reach the expectations you think he'll reach.
Yeah.
No, I think he'd get great numbers in the Bundesliga.
He might get great numbers, but I don't think he would improve his overall game.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Is that because the Bundesliga is an open league, which is easy for strikers to bag goals in?
Maybe, but
I wonder if he would do well in like the Chinese league.
But the issue would still be when you bought him, you'd bring him back over here, and he'd probably still have the same issues when you bought him back over it.
And
right, so does everyone in the chat see why I'm saying adjustment period if Haaland comes into the Premier League?
Oh yeah, listen, I wanted to hit.
I don't think he has that luxury though.
I wanted to hit the listen. Lewis,
that's the problem with itself.
Diego Costa. I wanted to do Diego Costa and hit the ground running. That's what it was.
So do I, but I just don't think it happens because the Bundesliga is that easy for strikers to do well in. If you're in a good attacking team with a good system, chances will come to you on a plate. It's just about do you put them in the back of the net or not.
But I like this guy's mentality. He just doesn't care. He just doesn't care about anything but from scoring.
Like you've seen his interviews, Andrew. He don't care about censorship
in the Premier League. I fully agree with you on that.
Yeah,
it's just he won't hit the ground running. I'm not going to say I'm sure of it, but I'm confident that he wouldn't hit the ground running at Chelsea.
Some of our fans won't give him the time.
I think he'd have a decent first season for us by his standards, and then second season you're going to see a baller on your hands. Absolute baller.
Or he might hit the ground running and then not score for about 10 games. Do you know what I mean?
But that's the thing. If he starts scoring in the first 7 games, I'm still not going to jump here and say, I was wrong. Yeah. I'm still saying you'll hear that from me around December. February, not March, December, January, February. If he's still keeping up those numbers consistently at that point, I'll be like, cool. Over half a season, he's sat here, he's took the Premier League a light. Fuck it. There's nothing to worry about.
It's like Morata a bit, isn't it? Morata sort of started off good.
Yeah, he had us all thinking he was prime Torres.
Then
the Arsenal game.
Morata was one of those where if you actually looked at his game before he came to us, you'd have realised he was never going to be good. He had one, I think I'm going to have a little check, make sure I'm correct in the saying. I think he had one season where he got double figures, and that was the season before he joined us.
Yeah, well, he was coming off the bench the whole time.
Like, and you're expecting like massive things from this guy. Yeah, so he had one season of double figures at Real Madrid. Yeah. He had one season of double figures, and that was the season before he joined us.
Yeah, that was a panic buy, Morata. That was a
yeah. Morata was shit and everything, but no one's taking away his heading. That's the only thing.
Teddy, yeah,
This
Teddy
guy,
was very
That's all
good.
he ever had.
Sorry, not to just pile on Morata. This guy, in 23 appearances in a banging Real Madrid side, scored 8 goals. In a Real Madrid side that won the fucking league, got 8 goals.
Yeah.
8 goals. And we really
in
just shook
23
our
appearances.
off 100%
I swear
Chelsea.
he didn't even play like that either.
No.
What is that? But
This
yeah,
guy was
Morata
playing
did
with
it, like-
Cristiano Ronaldo and got 8 fucking goals.
Nah, but our scouting has been really poor though. Over
You
the
know what
years.
it is though. I don't know how I don't know how he does it because they've got his agent has got Juventus to pay another £10 million loan fee for this season.
The what?
He's up to 180 million euros for his total transfers. It's extraordinary. I mean, it's near enough to promoting level apart from the transfer fees. You know, like he keeps getting bigger clubs.
Yeah, he gets free transfers to the best
He
club.
gets from Stoke to PSG and now to Bayern Munich. It's just extraordinary.
Yeah, Morata was one impressive during his early days at Chelsea, and then teams figured him out.
Scored on his debut.
Like,
He looked like Prime R9 in the Stoke game.
Stoke game, hat trick, yeah.
Yeah, he scored a hat trick.
Yeah,
I hate hearing about that Stoke game.
It's a header merchant.
So many
It's a header
dreams, so-
merchant.
But that header against Man U was beastly though.
Yeah, it was.
88 chances created and 4 assists in a Premier League season.
Oh man,
Fucking horrendous, man.
I'm just looking at these numbers for Morata, and they're so bad. They're fucking awful,
They've been bad.
bro. So that same season, right, that I talked about, in total. So this is with Europe and the Cup. 9 goals in 34 games.
What? Are you serious?
On my life,
50 million for this guy.
Nah, that's bullshit. On my life, this guy is used
Who
for
would you rather
money.
have, Morata or Werner?
Werner.
Werner.
Not even close because Morata, if he doesn't score, he doesn't do anything.
Who's a better finisher? Who's a better finisher? Who's a better finisher?
Nah, very better finisher than Morata. What are you talking
Bro, trust me, based on these numbers, I'm
No,
looking
no.
at,
To be honest, that is a very big debate. That's a very big debate. Who's the best finisher?
I need to look at it. I just if we're
That's
going
a
on the finisher,
Morata's a better header. He heads the ball better.
Morata's better at heading. Werner's better at passing. Werner's movement is better. Werner's work rate is better. Werner's dribbling is better. Morata's
His attitude. His attitude.
link-up play is better. Werner's strength is
Link-up play?
better.
His attitude's better.
Finishing?
His attitude's better.
Finishing, it's a toss of a coin. I can't.
Yes,
Finishing, I'll give Werner finishing.
I don't know.
What?
Of course you
Shut
give
up,
Werner
Potter.
finishing.
Yeah, of course you would, man.
Yeah.
You give him you give him a Ballon d'Or. That's what you'd give him.
I have a
I'm sure
question.
he's
I have a
not-
question. Wait. A one-on-one, right? A clear on goal. Who you got?
Werner.
Santana, man, I
Werner.
agree.
I don't know.
No.
don't
I saw that
I
season.
wouldn't trust anyone.
Morata didn't miss as many big chances as Werner, but we created so many more chances with Werner than we did with Morata. When it was Morata, it was just Eden Hazard or no creativity.
Bro,
when it was
just
Werner, you'd have Mount, you'd have Havertz, you'd have so many others. So I can't really use that to say Morata was worse in terms, but I'm not sure. When it comes to
when I'm seeing that Tottenham game where he missed the header from like 6 yards out, bro, and we're talking about he's got good heading ability or elite heading ability or whatever, or someone said no. Bro, there's a reason during the Sarri season I made a bet on camera that if Morata got a hat trick in a game, in a certain game, I'd shave him the head. Bro, I wasn't making that if this guy was a good finisher.
Yeah, no, Morata was a horrendous finisher. He was only good when
Afran 3 in 17, 18 was fucking bad.
Bro, and by the way, his stats were already finished. The only thing I'll say
Let's
is I
not
don't know
act
how
like he didn't score the best header we've seen. Best header you probably seen at Stamford Bridge. So
which
that
one?
one against Man U. Remember that head against Man U?
I've seen at Stamford Bridge. I'm sure I've seen a better.
Besides that, one of at least.
Yeah, one of.
Say one of.
Yeah, one of. I'll give you that.
Yeah, one of.
But it still doesn't change the fact Morata was just shit for us.
Who was more frustrating, Willian or Morata?
Willian. Willian.
No, Morata.
Willian.
Morata.
Nah, Willian.
For me.
Willian. Longevity and just consistently failing to do the same things again and again and again. At least Morata, I knew he was shit. And I could just deal with the fact that he was shit. Fucking Willian could have been so much better if he didn't pause at the end of every single counter-attack. Because Willian would build you up. He'd get the ball, he'd beat 2 or 3 players in the middle of the park and progress it about 30, 40 yards. You're thinking, go on, Willian, go on, Willian, go on, Willian. And then he stops.
But where was that Willian from Shakhtar? Remember when we played Shakhtar Donetsk? Him and Fernandinho.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Him and
best
Fernandinho destroyed
Stamford
us.
Bridge.
They destroyed us over 2 games. We were lucky to win that home game. Moses
here.
last minute header. But where was that
Fucking
Willian? Because that Willian
begging for a contract has been better than I've ever seen Willian at Chelsea. That last
15,
month.
16?
And even then, all he did was stat pad goals off set pieces. Because
Hey, but
Jorginho wasn't
he
taking
kept
penalties
us
for us then.
alive. in the
He
Champions
did, but
League
I'm trying to remember if he scored a goal from open play.
Barcelona.
He just created a lot of chances
against
for us.
Didn't he score against Palace? 2-0. Thunderbolted it in.
Would
you not? He scored against Newcastle or something like that.
That was Willian that made it 2-0, I think.
Would you not count the? Would you not count the first one against Tottenham in his last season for us? Because I know it came from a corner, but technically,
yeah. No, that was a great finish.
Yeah.
Shit defending from Tottenham, but great finish.
When
Even the Barcelona goal.
No, Barcelona goal was nice as well, but he did also just play crossbar challenge the whole first half before then.
He was the only one, though. That's the problem. He was the only one doing that.
Where's this Willian goal?
It's against Palace, was it, in 16?
No, he didn't even score. That was Tammy that got the third goal.
No, I'm talking about 15-16. I'm not talking about...
You
said,
that one.
Any other, you said like...
Yeah, but everyone bigs up Willian's 15-16 season when all of his goals are counted.
Great question.
Is Willian the most Brexit Brazilian of all time?
No,
that's Fred.
That's not even the No, that's not even the Fred at United. Do you remember the striker called Fred? Who they started in the World Cup? That's the most Brexit Brazilian of all time.
Actually, this Brazilian side is full of Brexit players like Richarlison. So,
Richarlison. Oh my god.
Sorry, Richardson. Not
Richardson.
It's Richard. It's just Richard.
Richard.
Just call him Dick.
Yeah.
Not even give him that.
Oh, mate.
But yeah, people big up Willian's 15-16 season when he just kept his performances the same while everyone else stagnated. And all of his goals that season only won us 1 point. So I still don't think he had that much influence. Willian, his best job has been pulling the wool over people's eyes for years. The only thing I'll give Arsenal fans credit for is because he did nothing with them when he joined, they gave him no patience. No patience. And we finally saw the real Willian out.
This brother managed to nearly convince Barcelona to buy him.
Oh, 55 million.
No.
Bro,
we said no.
We could have got 55 million for Willian.
Oh my god.
And we would have got Artur in the deal as well.
Bro, that might be up there with one of the worst pieces of business we've ever done in terms of letting a player go. Like, that might be up there.
Come on.
I can't believe that.
Oh.
Cannot believe it.
5 million. Was that in 19?
Nah, 28.
The season before, I think.
Oh.
Was that the Sarri season?
Yeah, if it's 18. It's
No, just before Sarri season. Literally like the
No, I
summer.
swear they came back during Sarri's season in January, didn't they?
You're lying to me, right?
No. That's a thing. When Mourinho
he got like 4 open play goals and assists from us that season. It was shit.
When London, Mourinho wanted that deal.
Mourinho wanted him and was going to swap Martial, and we fucking said no.
Martial's a bit of a false image as well, but to be honest, maybe Chelsea would have improved his mentality.
He's better than fucking Willian, man.
Willian couldn't whip a corner in.
Willian.
I'll give you that. Level's better than Willian. Fuck it.
My God.
Every time we had a corner, we knew he wasn't going to score, and Willian was taking it. It just hit the first man and just.
Yeah, I don't even know why they went up. I don't even know why they went up for corners. There's no point. It's just a waste of energy. It's like why? It's like And that's what's so refreshing when we started doing the corners. I was like, going, what's going on here? The corners are actually going into the box. It's very weird. We hadn't seen it for about 5 years. Corners going into the box. But wow, what a change when you can just hit it properly. Still though, won a lot.
Abdi said, if your life depends on a penalty, who'd you pick to take it? Jorginho, Lampard, or Hazard? Lampard. Hazard's a very close second. I
was going to say mine might just be Hazard because I remember more of his penalties than Lampard.
No, I hear that, but Lampard just never missed. I think he had like 4 misses in his entire Chelsea.
Actually, yeah, no, I remember. What was the one he? Was it the one? Did he take one in the Champions League final or not?
He did.
Yes, he did.
And he's
Very
twatted
bad.
it. Yeah, and I'm remembering that one. Yeah, I'm like checking Lampard.
Third penalty, I think.
Let me check. How many did he miss for us?
I
think it was only 4 penalties.
I don't remember him missing.
Single digits.
Like, I don't remember
Single
missing.
digits.
Hazard.
Single
I
digits.
remember Hazard missing against like Crystal Palace and knocking it back in. I never remembered Lampard missing. Never.
He missed one against
Yeah.
Stoke also, I think. Hazard.
It's single digits if he ever did miss any. It's single digits.
Yeah.
I think it's not even like above 5 if it is. And we're talking over like 12-year period. So.
Because he was our designated penalty taker as well.
And
Jorginho's
I
always got that
remember.
risk.
I remember he had to
the
take like a
Jorginho thing
penalty
is-
3 times against West Ham. Buried all 3.
The thing is with the Jorginho is he has that ability to it's like Hazard where he's got the little weight and he slots in, but then that Man City penalty in the Carabao Cup final was just horrible.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean. It's always a risk.
I remember a lot of Jorginho misses. Now, I remember he missing against Arsenal.
Yeah, Jorginho has a few misses.
I don't remember too many misses.
I'm remembering it.
Liverpool.
I don't remember too many
Even-
misses. It's just the one I just
Even the
do
Man
remember
City.
him missing.
That's not a
final.
No, if we want to talk about penalty misses, I'd like nothing. Like in recent memory, nothing beats Ross Barkley.
Oh,
Just
that
going
fucking...
Oh yeah. In Champions League against Valencia.
Yeah.
How to pack yourself before we even get through the group stage.
If he scored that, he would have finished top and not got Bayern.
Yeah, we would have had Atlanta. Probably still get knocked out by them. We go down with a bit more dignity.
Yeah.
He started the Bayern game also, man.
Yeah,
Which
but that was
champions
the
of Europe?
victory.
We
That
know
was
what
the
we are.
victories. If you look at our starting lineup for that Bayern game, there was no way we stood a chance. No way.
Yeah.
I think we had Giroud, Barkley, and Mount as our front 3. Jorginho,
Yeah, but I remember Barkley had a good chance and he blew it.
Reece James. I love Reece James, but Alphonso Davies backstrapped him that entire match. It was so peak. Davies was taking the piss with him. AC as well. He was getting spun around by him and Lewandowski the whole game. I've never seen Chelsea get dominated like that. Even in the 6-0, like, we got battered, but we were just shit. Like, I've never seen a team outplay us the way Bayern Munich did. Every time they got the ball, it was just different. It was scary to watch.
Bro, that's how it felt for me watching that City 6-0.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
City,
Just
like,
watching that.
We were there. Ugh.
No, it was, but it was
all
like
individual mistakes.
it was individual mistakes, but I've never seen like I saw it a bit under Lampard towards the end of his reign, but I can't remember like before that. Like, I've never seen just a team bypass us so easily. Like it was literally a knife through butter, and it's
The
like
thing is, Scott.
what?
The thing is, Scott. We just like didn't even play that game against Bayern. They were literally trying their best. We were trying our best. You know what I mean? We were trying. It just like leveled. You know what I mean?
The first day against Bayern could have been like 6 or 7 if they took all their chances.
Cool. Yeah, we're gonna end the stream here now anyway. We've been going for fucking hell, 2 hours and 15 minutes. Love that. Big up everyone who's locked in. Smash the like and subscribe button. We might be back tomorrow, again, depending on the news. Hopefully Erling Haaland is that much closer tomorrow, guys, but we'll have to wait and see. Big up everyone that's locked in. Smash the like and subscribe button. We will leave you with a photo of Bakayoko. Cool. Take care, like and subscribe, and as always,